Ladies and gentlemen, OpenAI has just announced GPT 4.5 and is actually available right now as a research preview. And I actually have access right now and I'm able to use it in Windsurf. And so today we're going to be covering a little bit of the announcements and then we're going to see if we can actually make an app using Windsurf, because one of the interesting things about this new OpenAI 4.5 is the fact that it's supposed to have be their, basically their biggest and strongest model yet. And as far as like benchmarks and vibes and everything, it's supposed to have like a lot of really good, like natural sounding things. And, this is an interesting leap as far as GPT-4 to 4.5. So this is supposed to be a 10x leap in terms of capabilities and stuff, just all across the board. And it actually may not seem like it's just massive, but we're just going to take a look at it firsthand. This is just going to be us vibing with it. And so if you're going to be down with this, definitely check it out. Want to let you know before we get started with this that I currently don't have access to it in the OpenAI's GPT app yet. But with ChatGPT, that may come later. And so I thought it would be cool to see if we could try it with the API. And then I looked at the cost and I was like, damn. So check this out. It's $75 for 1 million tokens. All right, this is not a typo, my friends. This is $75 for 1 million tokens for GPT 4.5. And it is $150 per output for this type of thing. So this is not going to be a pretty penny at all. So we're definitely going to be able to cook with this. And one of the ways that I thought I could do this is like I actually just got access to it in Windsurf. And so if I move my head right here, in Windsurf, as part of the payment plan, you can use it in your flow action credits. So here, if I do GPT 4.5, it's currently available as a beta, and it actually may be subject to rate limits or slow generation. So basically, Windsurf is low-key footing the bill for this right now. So if you have action credits and these types of things, I have like the unlimited plan, which is like the highest tier pro plan. I think is like $60 a month or something like that. So I got like 3,000 of these that I could just blast at it. And I think they're just going to be underwater by the time we finish this stream, but it's okay. I'm gonna start using this right now, and we're gonna make an app live. So the app that we're gonna make live today is something actually using the 11 Labs API. So today we're going to actually see if we can put some documentation into it and see if we can actually cook some stuff up with us. So I put my video I transcribed it, and it's actually like their latest API that's called, I'm blanking on the name right now. So their latest transcribing model is so good at picking up all the words, it actually beats the latest Whisper models. And not only that, but they can actually pick up which speakers there are in this. In addition, they also offer the support for HIPAA compliance. So that means as a doctor, as a nurse, as a lawyer, something like that, we can actually work with them. And the reason why I want to make this app and actually open source it is because I feel like this is something that you can take and start making money with this immediately. So we're going to just basically see if we can cook with this model and this app and just kind of test the capabilities. By giving it some documentation from their speech to text. It should be pretty straightforward for a Python app because we're just literally sending the audio and stuff over and it's giving us back the results. So I'm thinking it's just, this little simple pip install, we give it a key and we should be able to cook pretty good. So this will also help test the capabilities of like how good does this 4.5 model stand the test of time? And then can it work really well? So currently their transcriber form is just like this simple thing. It detects the languages and does the transcriptions. So yeah, if I get this working on it, definitely put this in open source so we can have that. So just so you know how big this model is for 4.5, Sam Altman has basically said like they don't have enough GPUs to run this. So if you know, the model is 10x bigger than GPT-4. And GPT-4 is not actually like the default model right now. It's the 4.0, the Omni model. And so we're talking, the 4 model was so massive, they had to like make these other smaller models that are just as good as the 4 model. And so the 4.5 is 10x bigger than that. And so we're thinking like, this is massive infrastructure and this massive cost. And so we're just going to try this out right now. I'm really excited. So there's a whole thing right here about Sam Altman talking about that. And, more GPUs will be coming online very soon, which is really awesome. And just real quick, Andre Karpathy has actually been able to test this model. And he actually is really impressed with this. And it's been like, I think he's been looking forward to this for the last 2 years. And he basically has said that like this vibes are pretty cool. So we're going to maybe have some responses and stuff to it. And he actually has some questions here. So that'll be really interesting for us to take a look. So yeah, let's go ahead and just start cooking with this, because I feel like we should just kind of get started with this. Right now, I basically have Windsurf pulled up, and I have the 4.5 beta model set up. And I'm going to set up my Python environment real quick. I've already made a folder by changing into the workspace, and I basically have the transcriber 11 labs thing set up. And the goal of this today is to try to make an app so that I can give it to you, and so that you can use it using the 11 labs API. Since their new model is like the best model for transcription right now, why not open source this? And that way everyone can benefit from this. I feel like, why can't we cook with this? This is something that you can then take to do some stuff. I'm using Conda for my environment. So I've already changed into this folder, and we're going to do Conda create-n. I'm giving an environment name called transcriber. And so we're setting up the Python 3.12 environment right now in this directory. So that way we'll have all of our packages installed and contained in one area. If you're curious about getting this set up, especially if you have a Mac, I would recommend, I wrote a guide on the ultimate guide on installing Conda, which is MiniForge, on your M1 Mac. So this guide, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've helped people who have installed the wrong version. They've installed like the non-silicon version, and it just messes up your Python environments forever until you go in and kind of fix the thing. So I used to work at Apple for 12 years, and I have a lot of operating system experience. And going into these environments and changing things around can get really hairy. So I just wrote this guide for you at rayfernando.ai. Definitely go check it out. But I detail the steps that you need to do to get this installed in your machine, including screenshots going on the way. I just had a clean machine. It's like, this is a perfect time to get this set up and teach you how you do all those little steps and the configurations. It doesn't really take that long, but once you're up and running, you're pretty good. So I just kind of wanted to offer that for you. So while that environment's all set up, now what we do is to activate it. So we do Conda activate transcriber. Transcriber. Cool. And then now our environment should be activated and ready to accept Python packages. Okay, cool. So Cascade. And then, so I think I should be able to open this folder here. So just so I can open itself, workspace, transcriber -11 labs, I think. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have nothing in this folder right now, which is great. And so what I want to do is just open up the chat real quick and then see if we can actually start cooking with the plan. So I have the documentation here at this URL. At URL, right? At web. So, oops. Yeah. Speech to text. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to say, give me a plan to make a Python app to transcribe speech to text with the 11 labs API. And then I think it should be able to grab the documentation from this site. Let me see if I can get this here. So this is speech to text. So this is the example they give me. And then I think, is this the actual API docs? I'm just trying to see developer tutorial. Sure. Here's the actual docs. So it's synchronous. Okay. This is the stuff I need. So I basically want to do this, and I'm not going to give it this one. I'm going to give it this one. Okay. And then instead of, we're just going to YOLO this. All right. Just because why not? Right. Make a Python app. Make a Python app to transcribe speech to text with 11 apps API. Okay. Of course, my face is in the way. I should just kind of get this out of the way. My bad. Okay. So what I'm doing is I shouldn't be able to do at web. It should be able to kind of follow through with these documents. And I want to make sure I have the right documents set up. So this is going to be the right one here. So I said, make a Python app to transcribe speech to text. We have the new model selected, the GPT-4.5 beta. And so we should be able to write out, and I'm currently in the actual folder. So there's literally nothing in this here. All we have set up currently is just the Conda environment. So we just do Conda activate, Conda env list will give us a list, env list will give us a list of the environments. And then the one we want to select that I set up is transcriber. So Conda activate transcriber. And so now we just make sure it's listed. It's okay, cool. So now that I made sure everything's listed, we can hit enter, and we should be able to generate just an app just using GPT 4.5. So this will be really interesting to see kind of how it performs. I feel like I, while I like spending money, I think spending money for $75 per million input tokens and then the output. So that whatever code is generated is $150 per million tokens. Like this is you're gonna. I mean, is it new Gucci bag or like some API tokens? For me, API tokens all day. That's what I'm saying. So, but your girlfriend may not agree to this whole thing. So, like, we'll see what's up. Got to catch up with the comments real quick. So, Jay, what's going on, Jay? Should be easy for it. That's what I hope. You know what I mean? Like the idea tools the bot uses seem to play a huge part as well. So I just want Claude code, but for local models since it looks robust with error checking. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, so it looks like 4.5 preview is already in cursor. Yo, about to take a look at that as well. So got to do everything, right? So I was just like, whoever gives me access first, I'm in on this. So I saw it pop up on my Windsurf. I was like, let's go, fam. Yeah, seems like Twitter, they said incremental rollout. Okay, yeah, that's what's up. $75 for a million. Yep. I expected to code a prod-ready enterprise-level app in several prompts. If that's not the case, I don't want it. 3.7 Sonnet is killing it after coding. I mean, let's just try that afterwards, right? Let's just try another one like this afterwards. That'll be really interesting. How can you access it in Windsurf? It's actually currently available as a dropdown. I just got access to it just by going into this premium section right here at the bottom, and it says GPT 4.5. According to, I think their Twitter post, they said that it's currently rolling out in small waves to people. I imagine they're just not going to YOLO it to everyone because, like, one, their servers can get at capacity. Two, it's expensive AF, so I'm pretty sure they're just kind of rolling it out as they go. And I think they're also kind of like, I was really surprised how fast they're actually able to roll this one out, like almost right after the announcement / during the announcement. So that was really interesting. I had messed up my Python environment before. Definitely feel you. Jackalope Labs, what's cracking, man? Welcome to the stream. Get Max Lab. What's up, man? What's happening? How can I get 4.5 Windsurf? Yeah, I think right now you just kind of have to wait. Right now, it should be rolling through pretty soon. How do you already have Windsurf update? I think low key, I must be an influencer, right? I mean, that's the only way. It's like, I guess, everyone's like been watching the streams and like, I appreciate everyone following. So they're just like, yo, just start rolling out to your boy. So I think that's kind of how it is. Yeah, expend it. Let's send it, folks. Like, let's just go send it right now. All right, so let's just see what happens. So this already cooked up the code. Let's go. Dang. Okay. So we got the requirements text file already from here. And then it already created the env file. Damn, this thing cooked. All right, let me see. Let me make this a little bit smaller just so I can see. Command, okay. And then also speech to text. It gave me the, I'm going to get rid of this thing at the bottom. I'm going to get rid of my face a little bit. So, wow. Okay, so it went already to it should be that easy, right? It should just give us a text from the API key. Dang. Okay, so here's what it says. I'm going to just accept all. This looks all really good, actually. Really. I mean, it should be easy. That's kind of what I was expecting it to be. So it created this. Let's proceed by creating, set up the environment. It created the dependencies. Okay. And then the speech to text is just really simple. It just gives us, this is exactly what it shows in the documentation. Even has the diary is true. Yep. Okay. So replace your 11 Labs API key here and then pip install the requirements. Okay. So let me just go ahead and just see if it can insert it into the terminal and we could just run it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this and then hit, you know what? I thought it's supposed to run because I thought I have my settings set up that way. Let me just double check that. So additional options. I thought over here, whoops, right. I'll have to look into that because I had it set up in my settings to do that. All right, it's okay. Let's go ahead and, because, I think I have auto set up. It's not like run everything because I kind of wanted to control, but maybe I'll just do an unhinged mode. So let me just run this right now just to make sure this works. Cool. So yeah, it basically says, hey, we have an error here because, like you're already, you don't have an API key, which is great. So it's like, hey, invalid API key. So let me just go ahead and grab an API key. And one of my cool things that I have here that I'm really excited about, it's like this live blur mode. So I could do this way or I could do pixelated. So that way you can't steal my API keys. Y'all feel me? That's what's up. So API, AP, yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get this API key. So from 11 Labs to go there, basically all I have to do is go to, I have their voice. This is the example of the voice generator. So I basically give it a video, and it basically, it cooked that way. So yeah, so this is their industry leading model, and it's called Scribe. That's right. So the reason why I wanted to do this is because I have an app called raytranscribes.com. So my app already uses a model from Grok, and it's extremely fast and very accurate because it's using Whisper. But I also want to update my app to use the 11 Labs API as well. So I just wanted to give you something, maybe an open source that we can play with to test out the new GPT-4.5. So maybe depending on how this goes, we'll go ahead and do that. But I want to deliver value to you first. You know, it's not always about me. If I can give you this code that you can run it and you can just get the API key, I think it's pretty fun to follow. And then my stuff I could just do on my own. So over here, I think I have to go to my workspace. So let me just kind of blur some stuff out just to make sure I'm good. And then we'll kind of, then I'll kind of reveal a little bit more. So in my workspace, I have API keys. And so in this section here, let me just show you real quick so it's unblurred. Oh gosh, okay. So I just went down here to where it says workspace and it says API keys, and then it reveals this area here. And so all we're gonna do is just hit that create API key button. And once we do that, it's gonna pop up with like, what type of key do we want to create? And so we're just gonna give it like a random name, but I usually like to name what I'm doing here. So I could just like to do transcribe Python app. And you can reset some restrictions up if you wanted to as well. And I think you can say, I only want stuff that's going to be done on my API key regarding text to speech or speech to text. That way, if your key does get leaked and someone tries to do other type of stuff, then people can't run up your bill on that. So that's just how the restrictions work for now. So for now, I'm just going to do this generic thing, and we're just going to go ahead and roll with that. So I'm going to hit create here, copy this to the clipboard. Cool. And so now that key is pretty much out of our view. And then over here, what happens is that we're going to go into the .env area. I have an app that basically cloaks my key here, but I'm just going to toggle it for now. So you'll see this. This is kind of what it generated in the app. And so what I'll do is just paste my key into here. So that way, you know, you can see what the key, not what the key is, but like this is kind of where we'll need it here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now with the pixelation enabled. So hopefully we should be good. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go out of here and then copy something else just in case. And we're back, fam. All right, cool. So I'm going to do Command K to clear out my terminal. And so if I run this, it's probably going to fail as well because I don't think we have an input as far as a file. But actually, this is the file that it's currently giving. It's a URL from this type of thing. And I actually don't even know if this is live. So let's go double check that. So that should...
American accent. I'm the ideal choice for creating ASMR content. Meditative with a soft.
Oh my gosh, she needs to chill. Okay, dang. Okay. All right, so we got that. That's the voice that's going to be used from this URL. I know it's creepy, right? So let's just kind of run it. We should be able to run it. So Python, speech to text. So now basically we should have, yeah, this is it. So this is the actual ASMR speech thing. And so in this transcribe thing, we want to have we want to add features to this, right? I mean, we need it it's cool. We get a URL and everything, but to be honest, I want to get YouTube videos and I want to transcribe them as well and do all that type of stuff. So I think that'll be really cool. Should we name her? I don't know. Yeah, 11 Labs has the voices definitely unlocked. So yeah, let's just go ahead and talk to Cascade now that we actually have a working app. I also want to do a git ignore file. So let's just go ahead and see if I can have Cascade create a git ignore file for me and stuff. So I can say create a git ignore file for my project. I don't want to accidentally push up my API key. And so if I hit this in write mode, basically we should now have Cascade create an API key, a git ignore file, because I hate writing this stuff sometimes or looking up the things. So I always refer to an agent. So yeah, it should be pretty much everything here. So it has .env start everything. So we're going to accept all. Cool. Awesome. And then I'm just going to go ahead. If I go to the little git thing, I can say initialize repository. So it can say, just go ahead and initialize it here. And then I should be able to, let's see, push changes, check out to, I thought there used to be a section here to push it over to, yeah, source control. Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to say so let's just kind of, here's kind of like a little twist here. If GPT 4.5 is supposed to be really vibey, why don't we just say create a really snarky pull request so that when my other engineers friends read it, like they'll get a laugh or something like that, you know? I think that'll be kind of fun because like this will test the model. Like we're having some serious code stuff, but we're also going to flip it up a little bit. So why not do that? So create a snarky pull request. So my senior engineer friends will laugh. It has to be clever, as they are much smarter than I. I or me, smarter than me. All right, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. Let's see what happens. Is this better than O3 Mini? I think the vibes are supposed to be like yes, or supposed to be on par. Yeah, I don't think you did. Did you leak the API key? Sure. Go crazy. GPT-4 is good in coding. Apparently, you know, we're going to try that real quick. I tried to sign up your service. It said I cannot. Signups are limited. Yeah, so you have to, right now, I basically have this private onboarding. So if you basically pay with Stripe, I get a Stripe notification and then basically send you an email saying, hey, welcome. And then I give you the link to do the onboarding directly from my domain. So yeah, I'm going to, right now it's kind of all done, kind of curated by hand just to make sure I have the quality and all that stuff like that. Yes. So yeah, that's basically whenever you use these types of services, Shri, that those like the autofill is the stuff that's basically generated from the actual the AI model. So the AI models try to do this predictive text, and so they try to pre-fill like API keys. So that's like a fake API key because the real ones actually start with different characters. For that, just FYI. Thank you for doing this live stream. Cool if you do that. If you want to transcribe some longer spaces, can I? I'm actually working on that. And that's what I'm gonna try to integrate with the 11 Labs one because it's going to be like a much more premium model. So that's kind of why I was going to play around with this. So for this type of thing, I'm basically going to be doing this so that I can, oh my gosh, look at this PR request. Just so we can experiment with it and then I'll put it into my app. So here's a snarky, clever pull request. So add guided groundbreaking AI transcription app because typing is so last year. Okay. PR description. Hey geniuses, I built a speech to text app using 11 Labs API because apparently my fingers are too precious to type manually. I even remember the git ignore on my API key this time. You're welcome, security team. Please review this masterpiece carefully. I know you're all busy solving world hunger or optimizing quantum algorithms, but take a break and bask in my glory for a moment. If you find any issues, remember, these are not bugs. They're undocumented features. Cheers. Oh, this is pretty good. This is really cute. I think if I received this as part of like a pull request, I would find it kind of cute. Like, yeah, not gonna lie. So let me know so this is actually using GPT 4.5 and it's supposed to be kind of cool and clever, like, and fun like this. So it's like, yeah, this looks pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, yeah, please run this in the terminal. So basically I'm just telling it, hey, can you understand this and then run it as a, no. Please. Okay. The PR looks great. The PR text looks great. Now give me the command to check it in. Cool. So I should be able to insert it. Oh no, can't. Okay, so bash copy. Okay, you know, I thought there was a way to check this all in, but it's okay. I'm just gonna do this here. Okay, publish branch, sure. So I'm gonna make it a private repository for now. Cool, awesome. So it's basically checked in right now, just so I have this in the future. All right, so what we need to do now is basically add an interface to this so that we can, really cook with this. So I think it would be more fun. Yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, so let's just go ahead and create a new window and just say, I want to help me make a nice user interface for this so I can drag my videos in, or so I can drag my videos into video or audio files into the transcribe. So we're going to basically turn this Python script into something that has a user interface that we can use and kind of drag things in. So it should know everything about my repo because I'm still coding with it. And all I did is hit a new chat, and we're currently in the writing mode. So you can switch between write and chat just to ask different questions and stuff like that here. And we're currently still have the 4.5 beta model. So I'm going to just keep going until my rate limits are hit. So YOLO, right? Let's go ahead and go. So we're using the new 4.5 model. And for those who are just joining in the stream right now, basically what we're cooking with is something pretty heavy right now. So this is really expensive to make. And basically I'm using it as a way to test out the new GPT 4.5. And so GPT 4.5, it costs $75. That's right. There's no extra on this. $75 per 1 million tokens. And $150 per 1 million output tokens. $75 per 1 million input tokens, like whatever you're putting in, like documentation, all that stuff. $150 per 1 million coming out. So that code coming out is sauce. It better be sauce. You give me all the money. I should feel like just coming out of like some really fancy store and stuff. And then like all the code that comes out is supposed to like massage your brain and stuff and make you feel so fancy. So I feel fancy with this because it's 120 kilobyte context length. It's not a reasoning model, but it's supposed to be 10x, basically more intelligent than the GPT-4 model. And so we're using it right now for coding tasks just to see how this is working. And we basically are using Windsurf. So the Windsurf, if we go to windsurf.com, actually Windsurf Codium, I think. Yeah. So if we go to Windsurf, this is basically their like IDE. And I got access to the GPT 4.5, which is awesome. And so I'm actually on the Pro Ultimate plan right now. And so that allows 3,000 premium model requests. So I think I got like 3,000 requests here on 4.5, and I don't have to pay that really expensive bill. So I'm just letting Windsurf cook for me until they kick me out. So we're watching this live as I got access to it. And so, yeah, everyone's like, we're basically just testing the vibes and just using the 11 Labs API so that we can actually get like our transcription stuff going on. So we're going to try to make an app, open source it, so that way you can use it and we can all cook together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. All right, so let me just kind of make the face minimal here and then kind of flip my face so that we can have this cracking. So, all right, so let's look at it over here. All right, so what we got going on right now is that we told it to make an interface. So it created an HTML file with the styles and everything. That's just cool. So modern front end. Cool. I'll set up the Flask backend to handle the uploads and integrate your existing transcription logic. Okay, let's go ahead and accept all. Cool. So yeah, let's set it up. Can we please set that up? What about using Fast API? Do you have a preference? Just kind of curious. And I'm going to use web just to make sure it gets like the latest stuff from the web. And then, yeah, we're just letting it cook. So let's go do that. And so, yeah, I was like, another thing about Windsurf is the fact that now you can actually do stuff with web. My previous frustration before this Wave 3 update was the fact that there was like no way to get your documentation from the web. And that was a huge pain in the butt because I had to copy documents and paste them in or save them into a file. So now with Wave 3, that's like actually easier to do. And for those who usually see my streams, I code with Cursor, I code with Windsurf, I code with anything that can give me an AI model to do reasoning with, or to do coding with, to do anything with. And so, I basically trying to approach this like as unbiased as possible, and getting you guys a first look at things as fast as possible as well. So, so today's thing we're using Windsurf is searching documents. It has like a little agent here that we're currently using. Been able to create a little Python app that we're kind of playing around with, and now we're going to add some web sauce to it to see if we can do things. So it looks like it's encountered an internal error, so no credits consumed. I think it was just trying to search the web to actually figure out like which one's better, Flask or Fast API and stuff. There seems to be an issue retrieving content. However, there's a concise summary based on the knowledge. So basically it's saying Fast API is modern, built for async stuff, and then Flask is more lightweight. So let's just do Fast API. Yes. Yeah, let's go with Fast API. Cool. I'm just gonna let it cook. All right, fam. Yeah. Ray, working on multi-agent orchestration via Windsurf, Klein, Cursor simultaneously. Dude, that's gonna be fire, man. If you can cook with this, yeah. It's magical. They tackle the same task in parallel. John, also let me know how much these tokens cost that you're going to be doing, because that's going to be really expensive too, right? I feel you, bro. So, LOL. There must have been an autocomplete. Oh, that's for the API key. Yeah. Thank you for doing the live stream. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Cool, we'll do that. If you can transcribe some longer spaces than 4.5, can I? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Are you building a small app from scratch or a small project? Basically, it's a small app from scratch. We're basically starting out with a transcribing tool. We started out with the 11 Labs new Scribe API because that thing was just announced yesterday. In the week, AI moves fast now. Every day feels like a month. But so that's supposed to be the most accurate, more than Whisper. It's supposed to detect multiple people speaking, and so we can separate our speakers. So that's why I'm really interested to make a web UI so that we can actually see the speakers listed out, which they call that diarization. And then, so we're starting out with the Python, like make sure we got the Python working with the key, and then kind of keep moving up from there. And we're going to use 4.5 all along the way because I have flow action credits. I got like 3,000 of them. And normally that would cost me, I don't know, $500,000 or something to put this, but like we're using Windsurf to get this going. So that's what's up. 11 Labs cost so much though. I got a bunch of credits from a hackathon, so I'm just using those right now. And I don't know if the API is free, but I'm rolling right now. We're just using whatever we got. Also, anyone who feels like supporting, you're more than welcome to do that. And I have a little join button for my YouTube, and also on X you can subscribe. It's just $5 a month, but it kind of covers the cost for all this type of things, which is really nice. And the release of video of GPT-4.5, this is not that good at coding. I don't know. We'll see. Like, we'll see. Like, I like benchmarks and all, but I feel like people get too caught up in them, and we just have to cook live. I mean, that's the reason why I do lives, because we have to see for ourselves. Like, I don't believe benchmarks because people have to have a benchmark to do something, and then they kind of anchor the whole thing around it. You know what I mean? So like, that's why they have these new vibe benchmarks, because we want to see what the real is, if you know what I mean. So that's what's up. All right. So let me know if you can still see the font. I just zoomed out a little bit. If this is too small, just let me know, and then I'll zoom it back. To me, I like to have a lot of space. All right, cool. So it updated my requirements, which is cool. Added Fast API and UVcorn. Okay, I like this. And then it says, we'll set up Fast API backend to handle file uploads. Okay, this is nice. So it's now got the upload route. I like this idea. Okay. And then now you've set up the backend API in main. So it serves your static front-end files. It provides like an upload endpoint, and then the transcription using speech to text.py, which is basically still over here. Okay. And so now you can run an application using the following command. So I'm going to accept all. This looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and insert this into the terminal and run it. See if we kind of see where we're going to end up. UVcorn not found because I don't have it installed. I get web. So I'm going to give it the web thing to see. It's like, hey, it's probably going to search, all these different repositories. And I'm expecting it to set it up for me, which would be kind of cool. So that like, we'll see what's up. It should be able to know that it's like, hey, it's not on your system. Let's go ahead and try to install it. I just want the agent to install it for me, to be honest. I don't want to like go through all the commands. Oh, that's right. I got to do a pip install. Yeah. So I forgot to pip install everything. So because we added stuff to our requirements, we have to do pip install -r requirements. And so that'll go through all of our requirements and reinstall everything. I totally forgot about that. So we're going to try the same thing with the UbiCorn reload. And there we go. We're running the app. And so it's failing because I don't know why. Let's take a look. I'm going to remove this on the side for a sec. So this thing says it's failing. Why? Oh, so it does run the transcription from the URL, and then it just comes with this process here. And so try these steps and let me know if you encounter any issues. So it says that we should be able to run the app. And then what I wanted to do is, I don't think we're done finishing up with the app. I see it kick off the process and then I get an error. So I'm going to say, I don't think we are done setting up the app. I see the transcription we hard coded, then get this error. And then just going to let it keep cooking basically. So yeah. In the release, okay. I'm not using cursor. Will it take my last clipboard history and show it as suggested? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What's the extension for VS Code? Ray is on point. Thanks, man. Committed. Screenshot. What's going on here? Won't using 11 Labs significantly increase the price of your app? I think that's the whole point. Right now, I just care more about experience and service, because if I'm able to do like medical stuff now and like doctors and transcribe these things, because one person had asked for psychiatry, so like they want to actually transcribe their patients and then understand stuff that they're saying and also understand stuff that their patients is saying and kind of have those analyzed in different context. That's what you need, diarization, to do that. And with Scribe, you need the most accurate words captured in every single thing and exactly as the person intended it. So in essence, my app is going to continue to evolve, and as I add more features and things, the cost will also go up depending on the feature set that you would need. So if you just need basic transcription, my regular app is really fast for that. But if you need something more like in this medical field where, you know, it's a professional service, you know, and I'm able to get some people on board to use it, you know, that's going to cost a little bit differently. So that's why, you know, I need to experiment and see actually how good are these models. And then, you know, I want to kind of architect around that. So that's just kind of how I approach these things. You're costing Windsurf $400 per request. Probably. Yeah, this is so crazy. Yeah. So, oh my God, Jesus. Free Gemini free slop. Okay. Yeah, Gemini has a free type of app model that that just came out. You can use it over VS Code as far as a plugin. So y'all are crazy. Yo, Kevin, what's up, man? So the Kevin works over at Windsurf. We might lose some money on you. Thanks for putting it through the paces, though. Super valuable feedback. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, by the way. Big thank you to Windsurf, you know, for like somehow dropping the access on my account. That's pretty wild. I just saw it show up, so I'm gonna just go burr on your guys' GPUs. Thanks. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Literally having it do everything. Are you finding 4.5 better at code than 3.7 Pro? Right now, I'm just kind of trying to push the limits and see what we're really doing here. You know what I mean? Do you have to pay through Windsurf, or do you just pay a flat fee? So I just pay a flat fee to access the those credits. They call it the flow action credits. And so the premium requests have, you know, there's like a general dollar amount that they give you here. So for like Claude 3.5 Sonnets, it says 1x credit. 4.0 is 1x credit. The new Sonnet Thinking is 1.25. And so the beta actually doesn't have anything right now. So they're probably behind the scenes, you know, like, I don't know. So I think they're still probably just trying to determine to see how it's being used in the system. And it sounds like they're rolling it out pretty slowly. I'm just kind of putting words in their mouth, but that's just kind of the vibes that I get from it. Are you finding 4.5 better at code? I think, yeah, we're going to see what this. Would you say the average tokens per request is 10 to 20K in such contexts? I think with this easily much less because it's just a small Python file. It's not really that big. So 4,500. It also, so output tokens too, right? $150 per million output tokens. So that's, I think it's more expensive to get the code coming back. Ray, you should buy Raycast. No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, more on that soon. Okay, let's see what happened here. Speech to text. We basically, this error occurs, your script doesn't define a function named transcribe audio. Of course, we knew that. Instead, it should directly execute the logic at the script level. Yes. So we've encapsulated transcription logic. This should resolve. Try running your app again. Okay, so let's just try running the app again. Control C. What does it say? Multipart requires multipart to be installed. So let me just do Command R install requirements again. I don't think we changed anything. And then I'm just going to go ahead and run it again. So if I go, okay. So the runtime error says form data requires multipart. So shouldn't we do this? I think what's really weird is the fact, I don't know if this is a new error or if it never picked up on the previous one, but I'm just going to paste it into the model. I'm a little surprised that it just didn't pick up this error. Like this would have been an error. I would have expected it to pick it up. If I scroll back, we're basically have went to, we want to, I'm still in this feature of adding a new user interface. And I basically am still trying to debug it and still keeping things in the context. So I'm kind of torn right now. It's like, maybe I should just open a new window and just start debugging it there so that I can just focus on debugging. Because I haven't even started running the app yet. So I'm going to just do that. So help me debug this error and then paste this stuff in. I am trying to run the app. Okay. I'm just going to see if it can just figure this out. It should be able to figure this out because it should have access to my code because we've been starting this from scratch. So yeah, we did that already. Pip freeze. Yes. Reload this. Let's see, Conda. Yeah, so we have the transcriber up and running because it's actually here in this Conda thing. And the pip install multipart should be here. So, okay, pip install multipart. Okay, so now that we installed it, so this pip freeze and this little arrow thing basically means that we're going to insert. So I'll show you the output of both right now. Pip freeze. So this will basically list out all the pip requirements that we need for this app. So if we do, I think it's Command Shift P, and if we go to, or Command P, whoops, sorry, Command P, Command plus, okay. If we go to, let me go back to the files. I just wanted to show you in requirements.txt, these are currently our requirements that we need. And so when you do pip freeze, what that does is it lists all the different packages and it gives you the actual version numbers. And so these version numbers will freeze it at exactly these versions. And so that way, if you hand this app off to someone else, theoretically, they should be able to run it because it gets those exact versions of the Python packages. And, everything should be pretty much good, as far as handing off stuff. Because let's just say 11 Labs pushes a new version of the API and it breaks. If you just have the name there, it's going to grab the latest version. So we can just go ahead and insert this into the terminal and hit enter. So that little arrow button basically pushes it right into the file. So now we see the actual file up here, how it got updated just by running that command down here. So that's what pip freeze does, just so FYI. All right, so let's go ahead and insert this into the terminal. We're going to hit run and we should be live. Yo, sick. Awesome. All right, so that's the moment of truth. All right, so I'm going to select one of my streams here. And so actually I'm going to do a short video. That way it's a little bit fast. So this is one of my videos here. It is an example clip. What is this clip? I just unlocked some AI secrets that flip. Yo, this is wild. All right, let's go upload this one. And undefined. Why does it say undefined? Okay, I'm going to say that. Method not allowed. All right, cool. So that looks pretty sick. All right, so I got yay, the app runs. But now when I upload a .mov file, I get this. And then I also want to copy this here just so that it has this in the context. And I'm just going to go ahead and let it cook and then catch up a little bit on the comments because I'm a little behind. So a month of ChatGPT Pros is the same as the year's Claude Pro and much better and cheaper. You know, you have to use all these models in different formats to get different things, by the way. No one has auto speaker separation and long multi-hour transcription, so this will be sick. That's my hope here. And that's why I want to test this out, plus jobs, because I feel like if Scribe nails this, especially for like 4 or 5 hours, bro, it's game over. Like, this is going into my API, and it's just going to be way worth it, if you know what I mean. So how do you get updated Windsurf? Windsurf will push an update to you, and you'll see like update now. Just join the stream. How is 4.5 doing you compared to 3.7? Low key right now, kind of hard to tell. And I don't think we'll tell until like we get snarky with it. But like, yeah, this man needs more sponsors for credits. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I think right now, low key, Windsurf doesn't have the cost. So I don't know if they're letting me fly under the radar or whatever is going on. So I'm just thankful for just getting access to it. And we'll see, because this is pretty expensive to run. I see. How is GPT 4.5 cost and speed? So the cost right now, real quick. I've been showing this a couple screens ago, but like, this is just so you know, is it's basically this right now. And this is not a mistake. This is $75 per million tokens that we're rolling with on OpenAI's madness right now. So 150 per million tokens, and you can actually play with this right now if you go to playground.openai.com. Is it playground? No. Console.openai. Platform.openai.com. Platform. I'm just getting my stuff confused today. If you go into the platform and you go into the playground right here, right now, if you're tier 4, you get access to it right now. And this is the 3.5 preview. And so this will let us do our things. We can have like a max tokens of 16,000. By the way, the context window is 128K context length. And so this is supposedly supposed to be 4.5 times, 10 times greater than GPT-4. And so you have the settings here, and we should be able to do the things there. But I'm using Windsurf because Windsurf also provides this as part of their Flow Action credits. And so why don't we just take advantage of this right now and just use it and code? And so that way we can see live what's going on. And I think they're rolling this stuff out in waves right now. So that way you guys will know when you get it, you'll see it probably kind of going on right there. So yeah. Yo, Dark Ray, dude, thank you so much for the super chat, man. This is super awesome. I really appreciate it because your support actually helps me do these types of streams, and this is helping fund the GPU credits and everything that we're doing right now, so we can use this. So I definitely appreciate the super chat. So that's what's up, man. I'm gonna leave this up there because you're a real MVP right now. I'm gonna pin this to the top, so while we cook up here, and that way y'all can see the super chat. So I'm gonna chill right here for now. And then just kind of follow up with this. So in the plan, it's basically saying, what do we need to do here? So what was just kind of catching up a little bit. So, so we basically ran the app and then we uploaded a video and it failed. So now it's saying, hey, we need to do some more verifications and stuff. Check that your endpoint is correctly defined and verify that this happened here. And then make sure the necessary stuff is imported. And so basically it's like, this is Windsurf. It's doing its own analysis using the thing here. And it took a look at our code. And I don't know if it made any changes and analyze all these segments of our script and actually just figured out that this is the cause. So it might be actually not be handling the MOV files correctly and just doing a silent failure. So it now analyzed the function here. Yeah, this is kind of clean, not gonna lie. Let me just do this over here. Let me also slide this over so that we have the full window here. So what did it change? Okay. Oh, added FFMPEG. Okay, this is nice. Let me move my head too, so that way we can get this here. Flip this back. And then what else did we do? Okay, we have an audio URL as well. Okay, so that's right. So recommended solutions, convert MOV into MP3 or WAV. And so let's go ahead and install FFmpeg as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do Command C to stop this, and then just going to insert this into the terminal and hit enter. So that's what's up. So it's installing FFmpeg, brew, install. I think I already have it installed. Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. So it's installing FFmpeg locally on my machine. So this app will just run FFmpeg on my machine. So if you don't have that installed, this would install it for you basically. So implement this conversion step for you now. So I think it did that here. Make sure you have it and try uploading again. Okay, cool. So this should be good there. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try running it again. Brew installed, vibecoding main. Why is it failing? Okay. Oh, so it did something, but it just, I don't know what exactly it's doing. So I don't need the hard-coded URL. That URL was just an example. By the way, the hard-coded URL, the hard-coded audio URL was just an example. But I do want to be able to give it links to a YouTube video and have it transcribe it. Have it download the video, extract the audio, then transcribe it. So I think what we're going to do here is kind of combine a little bit of the features, and we're going to see what's up. I'm going to hit a new window, since we're going to just, every time I hit a new window, basically I just clear the context here, and I'm just going to start a new way. And yeah, so yeah, I'm also seeing this error, and I'm not sure if it's related. So I'm going to go like this. So seeing this error, and I'm not sure if it is related. Hit paste. Okay, so we're using GPT 4.5 in Windsurf, and let it cook. All right. So this is kind of cool. I kind of like coding, like letting the model chill and then catching up with the comments. Not gonna lie, this is really fun actually. Not saying cursor, you have to add the usage stuff. So yeah, that's up. Yeah. Is this cursor Windscribe workflow feels like a way to add more friction for mid-dev when you're stuck in a loop of fixing things that a model generated and it's not very thoroughly reviewed? Yeah, I think it just depends on a couple of things. I'm sort of doing the, can I just vibe and code and like see what the model comes up with? I'm kind of gauging the intelligence by, does it kind of understand what I'm trying to ask it? And a lot of the times is like, if you're not a developer or don't have any experience using these types of things, what we have been able to see is like someone like Riley, who went from not being a developer to like over the last 3 months or a couple of months, he's just been literally just yapping at the AI and it creates apps for him. So what's happening there is that the model actually is understanding his intent and is actually producing code for him. And if you're an engineer, you want maybe the code to be more memory performant, or you'll focus on those different things. He's not focused on that. He's just shipping the apps, using them, and then iterating them as he goes. And so the goal here is like, if these models are really intelligent and supposed to be AGI-like, how good are they at just, still generating code? Is this actually 10 times better for the same price that you're paying for GPT-4? So if you're paying for GPT-4, is the extra price here justified? Is it still not? Is it going to cost me more money to implement this feature doing it this way? And then what's the cheapest way to do it? Is it just using Windsurf? Is it using Cursor? Is it using, Aider as a plug? You just put in your API key. There's a lot of different directions this can go in. And I think the most important thing for me is just understanding user experience. So if you have an intention and you give the model an idea of where you want to go, but you don't really know how to get there, can the model figure it out? And that's where I figure out that's kind of, for me, that's the more important part of the intelligence. And that's kind of why a little bit of like, we're kind of doing this sort of like, I hate the word vibe code. I feel like it's more of like just flow coding. We're just flowing, I just want an outcome. I want to drag the thing, put it in there. Does this work in the API? Cool. I'm just going to go back to my app and just change one line and say, instead of using Grok, I'm going to use the Scribe API. That's it. Add some parameters. I'm done. Like, right now I'm just prototyping this in Python and just seeing if it works. And if it works, cool. And I'm just going to give it to the rest of y'all. It's free. It's like, it doesn't hurt anyone. Right. So it's like, it's really interesting. It's expensive. I have GPT Pro, but I don't have it. That's kind of funny. It doesn't matter. It's super expensive. Yeah, I think that's kind of what people are saying. How do you manage a $25 a month limitation from Grok, or 25 a month? I just signed up for the developer plan. You can onboard. And then if you need more, depending on your usage, you can actually ping them and they'll blow up your requests. So yeah, that's what's up. So that's interesting. Yeah. These mistakes are already made in other models. Where are the things that require 4.5 to be good? The model makes very simple mistakes. It doesn't fix it. Doesn't seem to be, does not recommend, and not very expensive. Yeah, I mean, right now we're testing out how the model's performing, using Windsurf. And by the way, as these new models drop, I should probably add a disclaimer here, is the fact that like, when you drop in any type of thing into an existing agentic system, it's going to change the way the app works. So whenever you're dropping this same model, like side by side with Cursor or like another app like Ada or something like that, it's going to behave differently because each app has their own way of like grabbing instructions to grab context for the model and then feed that into the model. So in some ways, some apps can just give too much context and that can make the model get lost. In other ways, that's actually helpful. The exact words, the exact order, the positioning of the metadata, all that actually does matter for prompting. And so I encourage you to play. Just literally play. Don't get stuck on any one model. Try to use multiple models here. But I'm really just, for today, as a first look, just looking at GPT 4.5 and then, letting Windsurf basically foot the bill here. So yeah, Kevin was on stream. He's like, yo, this is costing us lots of money. I was like, yeah, thanks. We're letting it burn. So yeah, those shout outs to them as well. So yeah, that's what's up. All right, cool. So I'm amusingly working with Scribe V1 in Cursor right now, implementing faster than Gemini Whisper assembly AI. All right, accuracy is better, still substantially slower than Grok Whisper implementation though. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I agree. It does take a little bit longer. OpenAI doing a Claude pricing right there. I mean, low key, right? Yo, Anane, man. What's up, man? What's happening? Big X fan. That's what's up. So the error you're seeing is indeed. Okay. This is an interesting. I try to find these patterns with these models. Indeed, related to the FFmpeg command you're running. In your case, both the file path and converted path are the same, right? FF cannot overwrite the input file directly, of course. So to fix it, update your function and to use a temporary file for conversion. Okay, that makes sense. Also download the YTDLP and extract the audio uses FFmpeg. So that's kind of what we see here. So there's a converted file path to wave, RB. Okay. I actually don't even think it fixed the original issue. Let's see. In requirements, main.py, temp audio. Okay. Okay. Okay, I've updated your... So I'm just going to tell it to walk me through the app flow. Okay, so I think in the previous chat for the following scenarios and fix them if they are broken. So I'm basically just giving it a QA task. So as a QA engineer, I just want to, upload a video or drag a video file into the space, into the app, and let it transcribe using the Scribe API from 11 Labs. 11 Labs. It should return the transcript so we can review it. It should also show multiple speakers. And then it should also show the timestamps. Okay. So that's kind of one scenario. And then the second one is that I should be able to give it a YouTube URL and have it download the video, convert to audio, and send the audio file to 11 Labs API and have it transcribe with timestamps, speakers, etc. Similar to above. Okay. In this case, it should actually show the video too. Or maybe we'll just add that as a feature later. Okay. So I'm just going to tell it to walk me through the whole thing. So instead of telling it what to do, I'm sort of giving it like a QA task scenario. And this is sort of going to see like how good is this 4.5 model at sort of like planning and testing itself. And then maybe you can just kind of create a test plan for me. And then I'm just going to just reference that test plan in the loop. Every time we make changes, I'm going to say, hey, make sure you check the test plan and make it, add more tests to this. So this is kind of cool, actually. I like that I did this right now. So I'm going to flip my mirror back here. So what we're taking a look right now is two different scenarios. I want to be able to drag the file in, and I also want to give it to YouTube URL to do its thing. So it kind of gave out a plan. So the current user flow is supposedly go through the code, and then potential issues it found. So it's like ensure the front end correctly handles file uploads and sends it back to the backend. The backend must be correctly able to handle the audio extraction and then verify the API thing. So that's scenario one. Scenario two, so it sort of created its own AI test, right? So that's kind of cool. So the next steps now is just following this plan, right? This is cool. So first inspect your backend. So it's taking a look at the code, and it's just like your handles, but it's the actual scenario two with the YouTube URL. It's actually not yet implemented. Nice. I like that I found that. I didn't see it when I looked through the code. So next steps is to fulfill scenario two. I'll implement the following. Add an endpoint to accept YouTube URLs. Great. Download using YTDLP. This is nice. Send the audio. I'll proceed with the implementation now. So then I think it already implemented, right? I don't see the code. Maybe because I haven't accepted all. Okay. I've added the new endpoint YouTube and main PY. I don't see it, to be honest. Is it in here? Next, I'll implement download a YouTube audio function. Please proceed. I wonder if with this model, they don't just kind of let it go YOLO mode because it's probably very expensive to run. So I'm noticing that, it has to stop and kind of do its thing over and over. And I've seen with other like models, it tends to just keep running. So it makes sense because I kind of do like reviewing things, to be honest, and seeing kind of what's going on. But at the same time, yeah, like if it's going to cost you like 2 or 3x action credits, then, and you only have like 1,000 of them or 3,000 or even like a couple hundred, this will probably, like can be pretty expensive as well to run. So, and there could be other models too. You might like be better off using Claude Sonnet 3.7 for thinking to do some of this planning, even like thinking through this architecture of like how you would do a test plan. But I'm solely focused on GPT 4.5 since this is the latest release and we're doing a first look. And I got first access to it right now through Windsurf. So that's kind of cool. So it looks like it added some more code here for the YouTube thing. Okay, this is much better. I'm going to just kind of minimize this. Great. Next steps, ensure you have installed with pip install this. Great. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So it looks like the packages are installed. Okay. Restart your server, drag and drop the file, and it should work. So why is the audio URL have the example file? Is it just kind of, I'm going to ask it to tell me more. So I'm going to say, I think if I hit command, is it command L that goes in the chat? Okay. Yeah. Why does this still have a hard, I'm going to accept all. Here we go. Hard coded URL. Just curious. But now that we've implemented dynamic audio handling, I'll just remove it. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, why does it still have the print thing? Like it doesn't need the print stuff, but maybe we're just seeing that. Okay. So I sort of want this model to kind of understand my entire code base and giving more thorough answers. And I feel like I have to be like a neurosurgeon right now as a developer. And it's sort of like, I don't have that feeling when I'm using Claude Sonnet, especially like with 3.5 when it first came out. Like I'm having to direct it a little too much. You know what I mean? And I would just like to just sit back and vibe a little more and just kind of flow and be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I don't want to have to like say, hey, look at that file underneath it too. Like, what's the deal with the print? Like, that's a little sloppy. It's just my initial take. You know what I mean? I might just ask it for a code review right now and just let it see what's happening. It's like, can you review my entire thing and see if we're still following along to the plan? So given that we still have this context here, I don't think this is even 128 context at all. So we should be able to get our two scenarios and verify things and do a code review. So let's go ahead and see if we can get into that as well. So I've removed the unnecessary file. Great. So let's just going to say, okay, please review the plan and testing notes earlier and do a code review of the entire repo. I want you to feel free to clean things up. Fix stuff you see. Free to clean things. I'd just say feel free to clean things up. It should understand this if it's kind of somewhat intelligent, if we know what I mean. So, dude, don't show the whole web that you've leaked passwords. Leaked passwords? Okay. Compromised? Okay. I tried 3.7. It's not that good, man. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how to prompt with 3.7. So I'll let you know. What transcription app are you building this feature? So, oh yeah. So Neil, just to catch folks up and who are just joining in, what I'm doing is I'm taking a look at GPT 4.5 exclusively. It's the most expensive model. And right now, Windsurf currently has it available. So instead of me paying 75 per million tokens or 150 per million tokens, Windsurf is basically picking up the bag right now. I'm on the Pro Ultimate plan, so I have 3,000 premium model credits. And so I'm just cooking right now. Flow action credits. And you could check, you may have access to it right now. All you have to do is hit the little drop down at the bottom, and it's going to say GPT 4.5. You know, I test everything. So I'm not a like one IDE type of guy. And so right now I'm just testing out, since I got access through Codium, Windsurf. That's kind of what we're cooking with right now, using 11 Labs. And with 11 Labs, they have a new speech model called Scribe, and it's supposed to be super really good. So I gave it the documentation here to basically make this simple speech to text app in Python. And that's what we did. We tested it, printed out really great. And now we're taking the next step to actually kind of make a web front end for this. And it's, you know, we decided between Flask and Fast API. We did some web searches, all using GPT-4. And so that went out and got some information from the web. It's like, hey, we should use Fast API because of the asynchronous nature of everything. It's like, great, that looks great. Let's do that. And then, so my goal is to basically sort of reproduce this little dashboard thing that they have. So currently you should be able to just transcribe things by dragging them in here and then hit transcribe and select the options. So what I might actually do is get this screenshot and say, hey, I think our app should look like this. But the other thing that we're building on top of this as an added bonus is that we're actually adding in the ability to grab YouTube videos. So I want to give it a YouTube URL, go ahead and download the audio, and then have us transcribe it using the new Scribe API. So that way we have better accuracy. And then two, we should be able to get all of the speakers that are being used. We should get like 30 plus speakers as far as the limitation is, according to this whole thing. And then another listener who was on this earlier said, if you can do 4 to 5 hours, this would be killer. So I want to get a Lex Friedman podcast and see if we can do one of those, because he has like an 8-hour one or something, or a 5-hour. It's some ridiculous length, you know. So that would be amazingly fire if we can do that. So that's kind of what we're using. I got access through this via Windsurf, so we're currently cooking with this right now and kind of taking a look with all that stuff. So right now we basically said, let's go ahead and do a code review. It looks like it just did this extensive code review using the GPT 4.5 model. And then I was kind of venting my frustrations a little bit earlier. I was expecting a lot more from it, to be honest, but I don't know. We'll see. Your repository, it's a small repository, by the way. It's not even like a major app. And we're building it from scratch. So it has a lot of context as we go along the way. So I defined my endpoints, and it's even recommending that we have some error handling validation, which is cool. That's awesome. I'm just going to pull this a little more this way. I just want to see the files and code. This looks cool. Oh, it's giving me a unique UUID. This makes sense. It's got rid of some of the older stuff here. I don't know why this is there. Okay. So the front end says it's clean and straightforward. Added fields for users to input it directly from the front end. Yes, of course. Clear, concise, awesome. So then did it open up and actually add those to the, did you add the front end changes? I don't see the front end changes at all. Let's go ahead and just run the app now. Oh, okay. So now let's improve the front end by adding the UI elements for the YouTube URL submission, updating the JavaScript to handle this function. Please proceed. Yes. I'm going to accept these changes here. Looks good. Please proceed. Cool. All right. So we're letting it cook. The YT overhype it. Like, oh, you mean the models? Yeah, for sure. I think that's kind of what happens. People get excited to use it. Everyone says it's AGI, and then they go back to like, no, it's not AGI, and we have this song and dance. So, I mean, that's why I do these live streams. We're going to test this live. You're seeing firsthand the problems we're running into, and I feel like that's the only way we got to do it. Pull up the code, use the model. It's expensive, but we're using Windsurf right now, and they're footing the bill, so I appreciate that. This cursor WinScribe flow feels like it did way more friction for mid-dev, then you're stuck in a loop of fixing things. I think we talked about that a little bit earlier, for sure. Yeah. And 3.7 is not good. You must be doing something wrong. LOL. I spent weeks with O3 Mini. People are kind of having a conversation right now. So are you O3? What models have you guys tried? Which one are you rolling with? So the editor that I'm using right now is called Windsurf. And so Windsurf is the one that provides the GPT 4.5 right now. And so that's what's up. Ray, off topic. What did you used to do at Apple? Some secret stuff, lots of secret stuff. I think a lot of the stuff I worked on that you probably know about is like the over-the-air update things, the health app, like with the medical records, a lot of things all over the operating system. So like stuff all over the Apple Watch, like the Bluetooth stuff with the pairing with, I mean, just like all over the system, the transport mechanism. So like sending messages between the watch and the phone, over Bluetooth like LE to classic, and then Wi-Fi, and then cellular, like build system integration, low-level kernel things, all the way to embedded firmware devices, all the way to kernel, like user land space. Had some cool stories actually where I actually got the Apple Watch to Johnny Ive, and like a gold watch that we had someone actually drive to San Francisco to give to Anna Wintour. To reveal before the Apple Watch stuff. So that was really cool. Have a lot of cool stories just working on a lot of Apple things. I was around there for like 12 years. And so got to see a lot of things, do a lot of cool things, meet some amazing people, and work on a lot of really, really cool stuff with a lot of like super cracked people who have been building this stuff for years. And I think one of my favorite parts is the fact that there's just so many smart people that can show up in a room. And it's actually, the teams are much smaller than people think. There's just a small handful of people who really ship a lot of ideas and software. And then the kind of company kind of moves around that. It's like just super amazing. The stuff that they can get done is with a small team, because of all that experience, just keeps compounding over time. And I think that's kind of one of the overlooked things that people forget. It's like, sure, they're late to the game with Siri and all this AI stuff, but when they're going to land it, watch out, folks. That's going to be crazy. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what they're doing. I have no clue what they're doing, but it's going to be really exciting to see what they say. All right, so now we should have our front end. Please proceed. So I've updated your front end, and now it includes an input field for the URL. And great. So we should be able to drag and drop video files and submit YouTube. Are you guys ready for this? I think we got our app. So I'm just going to do one last Python requirements install. I don't think we have touched any requirements, but we'll see if we can hit that along the way. Actually, I'm just going to load the app. Let's just go YOLO. Okay, so what's going on right now? So why is it still transcribing this? This is such a fail right now. Okay, so when I run the app, why am I seeing this appear? I haven't even given it a file yet in the UI. And so basically I'm just saying, so what's basically happened right now is that in our prototype, we had a hard-coded URL to transcribe a file. And when I print this out, or when I run the app, it still has that process running. And so in this code review, I was expecting it to say, hey, this doesn't belong there. And it didn't really understand that intention. So that's an interesting aha moment just to kind of keep in the back of my mind, that it should have got rid of that with this code review. And we're not even talking like a massive file. We're just talking a small, 20 line Python file. Like now it's like 30, 40 lines. Yeah, this is kind of, yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the 4.5 model. I was expecting more out of it, especially given how expensive the price is, but let's just keep going. That's kind of what I'm seeing. death by like 1,000 paper cuts, if you know what I mean. So like, I don't know if it's like GPT 4.5. I don't know if it's the IDE that's like just not giving it the right context for the right times. If it's like just trimming the code and not giving it the full thing. It's really unclear where that's at, but that's kind of a frustrating experience for me. It's like, I'm just asking for a code review and it should be able to, with just the smallish files it has there, be able to pick up these little nuances. So I like to start small with some of these models when we take a first look, because that's super important to understand what small details is it really missing. And that can kind of give you a foresight in terms of like, if you're expecting it to kind of YOLO a lot of code, there may be smaller details that you're missing. And so you have to kind of make sure you have these test cases defined to review them and then run them and then keep repeating back this over and over, kind of rinsing and repeating. So in a little bit, I think I'm going to show you a little bit of how we generate test cases. I gave you a little bit of preview there. And I kind of want to see if we can write that to a file to have it test itself, which would be super important in the future, because we don't even have that many features, but you can see how this can start to get out of hand. Like one small change can like expose your stripe key or something. It's like, oh yeah, we accidentally put your stripe key in the front. Everyone's like paying their OpenAI bills or something like that. So that's kind of why I'm a little like frustrated here. So that makes sense. All right, so let's see, what does it say? When I run the app, I'm seeing this appear with a soft whispery accident. Okay, so removed unnecessary print statement. Great. Yeah, that's all we need to do. Okay, accept all. All right, so I think we should be good. So now I'm just going to rerun the app again, and we should be Gucci. All right, fam, here we go. Now we got the app. So we have the app. We could put a URL or select a file. So let's first do the first test case of just selecting my clip here. Yeah, and then like upload. Undefined. GPT 4.5. Come on, bro. Like, I feel like I could one shot this. I should have like this on Replit. I bet you Replit will get this like in one shot with the new agent 3.7. Actually, that would be a really good challenge right now. Build this in parallel. I gave it the following file.mov file, and I get this. All right, so we're going to let it cook on that. And the next thing we're going to give it is the YouTube URL. So this is such a disappointment. So, so likely incurred, the front end isn't handling displaying the error message from the back end. Yeah. Oh man, this is like getting like ridiculous. Let's see. As for Claude's limit, they really suck. Also limited to talk. Yeah. If we counter an issue with the, okay. Yeah. Y'all talking about this, what's going on with Claude and things. Yeah. Ray, is your app out yet? Would love to try it. So yeah, actually, that's what I should do. Ray transcribes. This is probably going to be a lot faster if we just put it here. So I have this app, and I'm giving folks early access to the model. Like I just currently have Grok as an endpoint set up, and it's super fast. So all this does is take you to a Stripe link, and then I just do an onboarding. And so yeah, let me just show you a quick demo real quick while we log in here. So I should be able to just kind of log in. And then you should be able to see my app all here. So this is my app, and I'll show you how fast this is. Like this is kind of the difference. So that same clip that we're talking about, it's probably like about 20 seconds long. We're just going to go ahead and hit generate transcripts and check this out. Boom. It's already done. See, like super duper fast, already transcribed. We just start a new one. I can select one that's maybe a little bit longer. So this is like the repo prompt interview. And DeepSeek R1 models are the latest reasoning models. So that's 3 minutes and 36 seconds. We go into here, we hit generate transcripts. Boom. Super fast, right? raytranscribes.com. It's awesome. You get the whole thing. You get the SRT file, and the .srt file actually has the timestamps and everything in them. So you'll have all of this in there, which is awesome. So yeah, so as soon as you sign up on Stripe, basically I get a notification, and then I go in and just send an email to you to do the onboarding, which gets you access to the app, and it's a flat fee, and you can select between the two models. And I'm planning to add the scribe model, so 11labs.io. I'm testing this out, and I want to implement this right now, and I'm going to show you really quick kind of what this looks like as far as a workflow. So we should be able to do where it says text to speech or speech to text, speech to text. So where my head is at, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, move it out of the way. So speech to text is right here. And then I'm going to say transcribe files. So I'm going to give it the same file, and I'll show you the time difference here. So this is the repo prompt thing, the 3 minutes file, 280 megabytes. So if I go to here and I just say upload files, you know what, I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this because I want to make this as our app. So I hit upload files. And so what it's doing right now is 11 Labs is doing this, and you can see how long it's taking. So it's basically, what I think they're doing at 11 Labs is basically uploading the file to like a Firestore database somewhere on Google side. So it's going to take that long to upload 280 megabytes. They're going to do some type of processing on their back end, and then they feed back the transcripts. But you see how long this takes. So like, I'm going to open up a new window on the side, and I'm just going to show you how fast my app is, right? So we're going to like, while that's still doing its thing, we'll have everything all transcribed by the time they're even like done with one file. So go again, transcribe, boom. Like, I'm already done. I've been done. This is why I make apps, because it's like, there's certain things that I just get really frustrated by, and it doesn't have to be that slow. And this is kind of why I want to add their API. But I'm doing a lot of front-end processing on my end that they're not taking advantage of. And so they're just showing this kind of as a demo. It's really slow. I mean, it takes a long, like we're still uploading the file, and it still has to do some processing. I could transcribe like something that's even long. I can't even like, don't even think about giving them like a multi-gigabyte file, right? Because so like, we're going to do another one. This is like, what?
Did you know?
2 minutes and 53 seconds. I'm going to generate transcripts. Boom. It's already done. Like, this is ridiculous. And it has SRT files. So my goal is like, if I can integrate their API into my app, then I'll have not only this fast speed, but also have all the other features without waiting this long. You know, I think that's kind of my biggest frustration with a lot of these apps. It's like, it takes forever to transcribe. And that's kind of where I'm trying to build with this prototype right now. Okay, here we go. Now we finally got our oh no, it's processing now. Come on, bro. Okay, so 11 Labs, we just uploaded the video, just finished the upload. Now it's processing on their back end. And now we wait. Like, we've already transcribed, I don't know, like 5 videos. Like, we could have transcribed like 10, 15 videos. So yeah, raytranscribes.com. It is probably the fastest transcriber right now using Grok. And it's using the Whisper model. So I'm planning to, upgrade the model, and you can do that right now. It's currently onboarding by hand right now. So if you just go here and you lock in the early rate, we just get that. And so you get to use that as much as you want. You know, that's kind of what I got for like the founder special. So yeah, you can save hundreds of bucks a month, because these companies do charge a lot of money for their transcriptions. Just by using my little thing. But here we go. Check it out. So this is me, and I'm the only person, I think, speaking in this. Oh, there are 2 speakers. Yeah. So the other one is Eric from Repo Prompt. So you can hear him here.
A lot of, and this is something that I see like a lot of people when they're working on like code iteration, they'll tell the AI like, hey, like output only the code. Don't output.
That's
so
interesting.
let's say I called in like release valves for the AI when it's answering. So just let it have these release valves of like, let it like say what it needs to say, and it'll.
So that's cool. This is the app that we're trying to sort of build right now with Windsurf. And you see how powerful the 11 Labs API is with Scribe, how it actually perfectly got me versus him.
Like a lot of people when they're working on
and like how it's a little bit overlaid. So all I have to do is use their API, and I'll be able to get this power. Except I have more, processing stuff on my side that I could do a lot faster, that I have optimized, with my front end, that like 11 Labs has not really optimized, because this is like one of many services they offer. So that's kind of why I a little harp on them a little bit. So that's what's up. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Dang. So let's see what happened here, because it just cooked a whole bunch of stuff. And so I think it's adding features right now for trying to actually make this work on my front end. Dang. Okay, so it's actually writing JavaScript code to put detailed error messages. Okay. And then dealing with how we should handle the error message. Great. I'm going to go ahead and accept all, and then Command K, and then just reload the app. And this is our transcribe app. Let's go ahead and see. So we're just going to give it the same. We're going to give it that clip, the smaller clip. Method not allowed. Why? Why is method not allowed? And so I want to give it back the API docs. So these are the API docs for the speech to text. At web. I'm seeing this error. I'm seeing the following error. Okay. And here are the docs. Cool. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. So yeah. Perplexity is kind of underrated. Perplexity is cool. Yeah. Thanks for doing the live stream. Making a detailed requirement document in the code base for live content context has been a major game changer. And for my agents, I'm vibing and a non-experienced developer. Yeah. Got to test these models. Hopefully you're learning stuff as I go. And just kind of how I prototype with Python. Just, I don't often prototype with Python, but it's just kind of fun because I feel like these models should be able to understand Python. It gets complicated pretty fast when we start doing some other stuff like Next.js and things. But, with 4.5, the knowledge cutoff is from still the same date of October 2024, I think. So it seems to be on par with the other models as far as cutoff dates. And so, Python tends to be for me, a good grounding to test these types of things. I don't trust Grok. That's Grok with a Q, by the way. So GROQ. They are a difference. They actually grok.cloud, grok.com. So Grok provides very fast inference. They probably provide some of the fastest inference we have for anything. Like you can do R1 spec deck with Llama 70B. Say, make me a Tetris game. And then this is it thinking, and it this whole thinking with the code just spat out in I don't know, 1,000 tokens a second plus. This is ridiculous. Yeah, this whole thing just is cooked just like that. So yeah, they're super fast. This is actually what they do. These are a guy who worked at Google who left along with some of the folks and come up with a whole new architecture to serve inference. So it's not TPUs, they have LPUs, so these language processing units. So they basically put, I think, all of the memory right onto the chip itself. So they actually require more chips for their stuff to run, but it runs extremely fast. And they do a lot of cool custom synchronization things that basically get around us. Whenever you have a GPU, you have to chain them together in a data center with all these computers. And then you have to chain them together through network cards. And so you lose a lot of latency, and that adds up as you add more GPUs to serve inference. There's this synchronization that has to happen whenever you're trying to run inference on these models. So all those milliseconds kind of matter. And these guys have figured out why don't we just do this, keep everything as central as possible, as close to the chip as possible, and have everything loaded there, and then just scale up on our chips and our memory. And that way you have faster inference, and they kind of prove this model. And so their chips are not running the latest, smallest nanometer sizes. It's literally running a 15 nanometer chip on their GPUs. They have some other stuff that they're cooking with later, but they're already able to get these insane speeds with their infrastructure. And that's GROQ. This is not related to Elon Musk's company at all. And it's super fast inference. I like them. They offer the Whisper model, and it's kind of the reason why I started cooking with them. So me paying $10 for Windsurf Pro as an early adopter is no match. Yo, you got the real discount, the MVP right there, Razul. That's what's up. Likewise, Chief, big fan of yours. Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, for sure. We're cooking. We're vibing right now on NA, so that's what's up. Let's see. Let's get this. So I'm trying to see if it's going to fix this error. Method not allowed. Great. Speech to text. Your current uses the client correctly. Okay, it checks the documentations. It seems there's an issue. Okay. Please verify these points to let me know any details. Recommended next steps. Ensure your API key has the permissions. It should. It worked earlier. Yeah. Okay. So it worked earlier. Can you review the front end and back end code in my app? So yeah, a little bit of frustration right now with the GPT 4.5 model with Windsurf. I'm not really sure if there's a limitation in terms of context, or like, I feel like it should know that it should be doing these types of things, and like understand that there's probably an issue with my front end actually sending over the payload to the back end to go send it out, which is like kind of like, what the heck? Why doesn't it just figure this out? Yeah, it worked before with my previous example URL. Okay. Okay, so check network requests. Okay. Here's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm just going to quit it. I'm going to retry this again, because I think there's an issue with just the way it handles the URLs. And then if this doesn't work, we're just going to move on to the YouTube URL. And that's what's up. So yeah, why? I don't care right now. So I'm going to try to transcribe a YouTube URL. So youtube.com. And we're just going to select the video here. We're going to do How to Use LLMs by Andre. Why not? This is really cool. So let's go ahead and do that. In my app here, where is it? Okay, cool. So I'm just going to give it this URL and say go. YouTube URL not defined. Okay. I gave it, and it says, Okay, so if this doesn't work, I'm going to try to open up a new chat and just clear the context out again and just kind of start a debugging session there. It's getting kind of annoying that like it's not really good at front end code. Like I thought it would be pretty good at that, to be honest. So yeah, like this is such an odd integration error right now. I just don't really understand. I feel like I can get a lot further if I just said like, let me just make another app. Just you like use Vite or something to kind of make this here. So we've improved your front end JavaScript to handle the back end responses. Okay, let's take a look at that code real quick. Okay, so then respond with this. Can you please do a full code review of inserting the following URL and seeing and walking me through this data flow. Okay. Okay. So I'm basically telling it to QA itself, giving the URL and just kind of seeing what the model, I want to see what the IDE is like picking up as far as files, and then feeding it through and then just trying to have it test itself, if you know what I mean. Basically telling it to be a QA engineer or automation QA engineer right now. Yeah, I don't trust you. Okay. This is cool. Thanks for jumping right in and doing a live stream. Not much out yet on 4.5. So you're one of the only games in town at the moment. Yeah, I'm also like trying to make something practical, which is something I use. And so I'm not just trying to make a game. I love to make games. Don't get me wrong. But I actually want to sort of get this work done too. Let me just like integrate this into my app and make sure it works. Yeah. Is there an open source Grok reverse engineered API that allows you to Grok chat to work as an API for Windsurf and Cursor? I have not seen the Grok 3 reverse API, but I'm pretty sure you can try to use something like Playwright, which will do browser control on your local environment to tap stuff into the browser and then like insert your requests and then parse them out. It'll get really messy because there's code that would pop in and out, but it sounds like it could be possible. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah. I mean, I probably have already dropped. Yeah, I agree. Like at least a couple $100 worth of code, and I paid $60, you know, for the ultimate or whatever. So, I like who comes out ahead. So yeah, for those who don't know, we're currently using Windsurf, and Windsurf is an IDE that's very similar to Cursor in terms of offerings. Like they're almost on par with each other. They're like the differentiations in the UI. Has an agent mode and all that different stuff. I'm not sponsored by any of these people, by the way. I test this stuff independently because I believe in just using these models. As soon as they come out, trying to see if they can actually do work for me. If everyone says that this AI stuff is going to take over our jobs, can I actually use this to leverage myself as an engineer, my true belief is that AI is not really going to take your jobs. It's actually going to enhance everything you do. So the earlier you are to get on this train to start testing these models as soon as possible, the faster you can actually leverage your skills. So right now you're seeing me walk through like a prototype with a small app and then kind of testing it live, right? So we're adding Python code, and then within the code, I'm actually having it walk through a scenario, having it generate some test cases for us, and then having it run and do some testing for us automatically, and sort of like lightfully letting it review and do its things. And so I'm starting with this prototype as a way to understand how good is GPT 4.5 with zero context, without flooding the context window. Can we continue to add apps and iterations? And then how much can it really cost us to make an app like this? Right now, the initial vibe, I'm just kind of frustrated that I have to give it so much instructions and point it in every little direction, and that it's not able to grab the entire context that I've been able to do with like one-shotting apps with, Claude Sonnet 3.7. I chose Python because it's like the most popular language and widely available, and likely highly in its training data set, and it's able to accomplish those things. But yeah, I'm just kind of having it to point into too many directions, and to me, it's kind of wasting my mind. I'd rather just code it myself a lot faster. But you're getting a first look, right? That's just kind of how I think about using these types of models, and it's I'm trying to really sincerely give GPT 4.5 a fair chance, but it's costing a lot of money. It's costing Windsurf a lot of money to serve this API to me, and I'm getting a first look. So yeah, if you have the Pro plan, you get like 500 premium model user prompts. So every prompt that I send, it costs 1 credit, and then some of them cost more credits. So like for example, the Claude Sonnet Thinking will cost 1.25 credits, and then the beta right now is currently just limited to I might even get rate limited soon, by the way. So there could be a slow generation, all those types of things that are here. They're currently not listing that. So just FYI for this type of thing. So this is kind of us walking through this live, getting our first hands wet, trying to build an app and see how far we can get. It's definitely taking a long time. I feel like I could one shot this in a different thing. So yeah, this is tough. Yeah, it probably has the YOLO mode. I don't know if the YOLO mode is disabled for the GPT 4.5 because this thing's expensive AF. And yeah, it's currently in beta. So when I buy the $15 Windsurf do I need to add my Claude API key, or is it just a free trial? You can't bring your own key because of the way their agent's configured apparently. So you would use credits from them. And I think after you burn through those credits, you can do pay as you go afterwards, I think. So yeah, so YOLO too. Yeah. Okay, cool. So what's going on here? What did we do? Catching up a little bit. So I basically said, hey, walk me through as if I gave you a YouTube URL and then let it cook and see. So the front end user interaction, the backend flow goes here. So it's cool. It's actually walking through my code, which is nice. And then it should do a sub process to do the thing here, and sends the audio data and then returns it. So the front end should display it like so. So the code review actually found some recommendations. So consider adding loading indicators. I like this. And also proper cleanup of temporary files. I like that as well. And so regularly update your dependencies. So let me just go ahead and do this as well. So install requirements. Great. Okay, so the recent front-end fix should now display detailed backend error messages. Verify and confirm requests in the browser. So I don't think it actually applied those fixes. It should have. Did it? Oh, cool. Yeah, let me just go ahead. I thought I accepted them already. No, there weren't any fixes. It just gave me suggestions. You just gave me... Can you actually implement the code? Actually, implement the code. I don't even have to ask. I'm paying you lots of money. You should be paid. You know what? This could be on par with like expensive people. When you pay people lots of money, they just kind of do less work. That's what low-key feels like. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's what's up. For some reason, I like Windsurf more, or I like Cursor more than Windsurf. I just wish I had $20 a month to spend each month. So Chronicle content, I think you're not alone in this because it costs a lot of money to use AI. If you're in this camp still trying to level up your skills, there's a couple of options. You want to check out Google Gemini. So Google Gemini, Google actually has a coding assistant that you can put in with VS Code. And so it's like the Google Code Assistant that just came out a couple days ago or within the last day. So it's a plugin and it's free. They have a lot of free requests. It's more than the GitHub one that's free. And it's very similar to this. It's not going to be as premium as the level of experience, but if you can't make $20 an hour yet or 20 anything, I would start there. Start experimenting. Since you can code with their stuff for free, I would just take advantage with that as much as possible if you're in this type of situation. I'm very lucky that I've had, I grew up with nothing, and I had to I slept on the floor. I literally grew up here in the Bay Area, and it's just so weird to watch tech and everything grow around me. And, I fought my way through to lots of different things like learning disabilities to figure out that I have this problem. But now, I love tech so much. I just wanted to be around it. And through all these lucky chances, from working at the Apple Store to being an engineer to, working on some really amazing stuff, I just continue to persist. And if you have that drive, I believe you can do it. And you could probably do it a lot faster now with AI. And now even Google offering that stuff for free. Don't let that hold you back, man. I believe you can do it. And, learn some stuff from the stream here, ask questions, participate, and just cook with the fam. So that's what's up, man. I believe you can do it. So auto execution policy turbo. Yeah, that's what's up. All right, so let's see. Did it implement the code? Let's see. Front end. Yes. Okay. Cool. I like this new code. Process and backend expert. I like this lib parse thing. Nice. Okay, so I like this invalidation type of thing. So, okay, cool. So, all right, fam, command K. Let's go ahead and just reload this app. All right, so we should be able to give it the Carpathy video. I'm going to move this over here. Boop. Breath. Why does this say YouTube URL undefined? Okay, I get why. This is so frustrating. It's I'm totally running the app right now. I'll verify this works correctly. So it's just reading my code right now while we do this. Can someone help me, please, when I buy the $15 plan? Do I need to add my cloud? Okay, this is what we're talking about. 3.7 thinking is impressive. It's definitely a step forward. Yeah. It would be awesome if instead of watching it cook up the edit, you could just scroll TikTok directly in the IDE. That'd be crazy. Yo, Matt from Codium. You don't need an API key. Simply sign up and start building. There you go. Yeah. Great stuff, Ray. Why would you not implement the MD file that has a plan, intent, framework, and checklist for the model to follow? I think the model's hallucinating. Yeah, so I think that could be... Here's a couple of things. I feel like this is kind of where this is going. Chris, we started this off more as a way to we started from zero and then we started building this app out slowly. This app is not yet big enough, I feel, to have this massive detailed plan, because that can sort of get in the way of things, especially as I'm iterating. So there's one part of it as the prototyping. I just want to keep moving forward because it should have enough context. I'm not giving it more than 10,000 tokens. It's probably 5,000 or something like that. And that's more than enough for these models to handle because it could do up to 128,000 tokens in its context window. And I'm hitting new chats every time I go along. And so this is something I expect the Windsurf IDE or any IDE I use to grab the files necessary. And then two, the model should be smart enough. And sort of the reason why I'm just sticking to one model right now, because we want to get a first look at, you're probably going to run into similar challenges as I am, or maybe not. But we're all going to look at this from different perspectives, except that not everyone has that type of money right now to be spending on a model for, OpenAI. So the cost of the model, for those who are wondering, it's basically $75 for a million tokens and $150 per output. So of course my head's in the way when I'm talking about it. So yeah, $75 for 1 million tokens and $150 for the output. So yeah, the plan stuff may come a little bit later. I feel like that's going to be, I don't know if we need it right now. I think the thing that's going to be probably most productive is having test plans. Just, hey, based off of this, can you just generate a simple test plan? And then I'm just going to just tell it to run the test plan every so often, which would be super helpful because I'm not really changing much features in the front end. I'm just trying to make this actual app work. So it's trying to understand why it doesn't, why undefined then. So the issue is likely because the backend encountered the error with transcription, which is here. So it added a fix to do this by saying there's, it's, yeah, debug there. Okay. So we should just reload the app and go back. So I'm going to try to give it the same URL again. Refresh, give it this. Method not allowed. Why is method? So does this even give us why the method isn't allowed? So I can't see why. I'd like details, but obscure the API key or blank it out. So I'm just trying to see if it can generate more debug logs here so that we can see why the method's not allowed. Oh, you know what? I wanted to review the methods from 11 Labs API. Can you review the methods from 11 Labs speech to text API and also take a look at my backend implementation? Okay, cool. And then say at web. So that should just let the model with GPT 4.5 have web access to go do the things. Yeah, so it's parsing through. You can see all the documents it's calling. So Cascade encountered an error. So I don't know what the error means there. I wonder if it's even parsing the documents. So I'll have to manually verify the API usage visiting this link. That sucks. Okay. So it looks like Windsurf is having a problem to like parse the documents. Okay. So it looks like there's a Windsurf bug here, which is probably part of the reason why it's failing to implement this correctly. Yeah. So there's an issue a little bit right now is that the Windsurf app is having trouble parsing the documentation, which is probably why it's not really able to verify. It's kind of shooting blind. It's like, hey, we're doing this thing. And we're kind of stuck here. So that's kind of, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but I'm just going to like, just copy and paste this whole thing, I guess. Here's the documentation, I guess. Here is the documentation. Just seeing what's up. Cool. So yeah, I think that's definitely the problem there. So yeah. I use Grok Deep Search to make the best structure for my development plan, and then Cursor 3.7. Yeah. I think that's probably like it's a good idea to use multiple models. And for this type of test today, we're just kind of trying one singular model as a first look, just trying to see, you know, how good is this stuff when it's all working together. Yeah. You'll have to chunk the Lex Friedman video. I tested the long format. Yes. Yeah, because the maximum input here is 100 megabytes. That is correct for the 11 Labs API. And their 11 Labs API is called Scribe. It's supposed to be really good. I feel like OpenAI is playing games with pricing being so high just to be most expensive in order to stand out. There's no way that inference is costing them that much more than others. I actually think that they are losing money still. So with this model 4.5, it's actually a 10x size leap. And I have LDJ, I'll probably have him back on the show again, explain in like greater detail as far as like how these models improve over time. So like with 3.5 to 4, it was GPT-3 was released, and then GPT 3.5 in terms of parameters and size and everything was a 10x release from that. And so when you go from a 0.5 to then GPT-4, so you times that 10 by the next 10x leap. So 10 times 10 is 100 times. So from GPT-3 to GPT-4 is 100 times leap. So from GPT-4 to then 4.5, it's 10x. And then GPT-4 to GPT-5 is going to be 100x. So you just times 10 from the previous 0.5. It sounds really weird, but yeah, it's just basically when you have that pricing, like they were already struggling to handle GPT-4, which is why they make these turbo models to basically run not as many parameters, keep the cost down, keep the deployments kind of working, and try to see if they can still get the same performance and output, which is kind of why they lower the cost for things. So O3 Mini High was released. The O models cost a lot of money to run all those, like Sora, to run everything. So paying $200 a month, if you actually use like all the Omni models, the voice, use Sora, use things, you're going to get like way more than $200 worth of GPU on that. So this type of thing, when you're going GPT-4 and you times 10 as far as all the GPUs and everything you need to get this thing running, I think they're still losing money on this, to be honest. Not going to lie. It sounds outrageous, but here's the other thing. We're so used to other models like Claude Sonnet 3.7, DeepSeek, Grok 3 providing such good code already out of the box. Now you're kind of questioning, like, is this really worth it? Is it worth paying the extra dollar amount? And so one of the things that we kind of have to separate here a little bit is that I'm using Windsurf as the IDE. So Windsurf is grabbing the code files and then sending that across to GPT 4.5. And so there is someone that's in between this, me and OpenAI, sending these requests out. So it's possible that, like, these apps still have to make adjustments in their code to make that experience a lot more smoother and feel so smooth. Also, Claude Sonnet 3.5 has been out for almost a year. So all of these apps have been making all kinds of adjustments for almost a year. And that's basically made it feel so buttery smooth. So just keep that in mind when doing these comparisons, that this just dropped and everyone's just dropping in as fast as possible. And this is kind of our first look at it. So I would just keep that in context, if you know what I mean. So like, that's kind of where we're at with this. So yeah, I'm not saying that I'm like justify the price or anything like that. I'm just kind of giving perspective on my experience. It is insane. I agree. It's ridiculously insane. So I wish I had a premium chat GPT. Yo, man, slide in. We got you. So where have we gone here with this diff? So it's talking about the headers. Oh, it didn't have the key, of course. Oh my gosh, that's the problem. How did it miss this simple thing? The reason why my request kept failing is because I didn't have the API key in the header. Of course, I should have seen that coming. This looks about right, yes. Oh my gosh, come on. This is, if that was the only, I swear to God, come on. All right. Damn. Okay, let's go, fam. I think we got this. This should work now with all my other stuff. Okay, so let's get this video from Andre. He just dropped this 28 minutes ago. How I use LLMs. Let's go cook, fam. Come on, bro. What's wrong? YouTube URL not allowed. Okay, so let me just try a file. Not allowed. What is there? Okay, so why is this not working? Okay, I did this. Why is the front end not working? It looks right on the back end. Yeah, this is just, oh man, this is a pain in the butt. Does Windsurf have Claude 3.7? It does. So when we go here, it has Claude 3.7. So that's going to cost you 1 credit. And then the thinking model is going to cost you 1.25. And then they have like a flow action mode. So right now the model's stopping because this new model's in beta. So it's not letting us just kind of run with it. But like typically I could just tell it to like start this app and it'll just keep iterating until it basically gets done. I wish you would fix all the bugs in HomePod. It's a mess. Bro, don't even get me started with this. Like, I'm not even going to go there right now. You prefer Windsurf over Cursor? Right now, I'm basically testing both. This is kind of like, I hop back and forth between the IDEs. So when DeepSeek came out, I was using Windsurf a lot because they had DeepSeek available and like it cost credit. And I already had some credits with Windsurf. So I burned through all that and then went over to Cursor, and I was using Cursor for a while until I burned through all my credits. So like I'm literally paying everyone to use all my credits. I had Fireworks API loaded up and I was like paying out of pocket. I mean, my money's going everywhere, to be honest. Bluetooth stuff sounds very esoteric. Yeah. Oh, yo, Will Johnson just became a member. Thanks, man, for becoming a member. That's so awesome. Thanks for joining the Let Me Cook fam. So for those who don't know, YouTube at Fernando1337. You can become a member to support the gang. This is kind of how I roll. And so, Will, I have an actual member post on how you can get access to the Discord. I have a private Discord that's there. So you can kind of join in on the fun. So it's just $6.99. That's all I'm saying. Just if you're totally in, like, you could just, all you have to do is subscribe for free and share with friends. I'm really happy. But for those folks who feel compelled, $6.99 a month basically supports this operation. I'm hiring some editors now to go through my live streams and pick out a lot of the good stuff. So I have that. And then tonight I'm dropping a new long form video. I'll give you a sneak preview because I think it's a little bit of sneak preview so that you can see, some of the quality of stuff that I've been releasing. So this is like the perfect prompt formula. And so my members can see this first. And basically I just kind of go over like a model comparison. So in here, it's basically like a short version of my live stream. It's just 11 minutes. And the idea there was just more about, how I compare the tools and what am I doing there. So Will, thank you for becoming a member. That's really awesome. Appreciate it. So cool. Grok 3 is almost as quirky as Elon. Yeah, they did some cool stuff with that model and stuff. Our 4.5 code ability is weaker than O3 Mini High. Low key, I'd rather go with O3 Mini High right now. If I had to choose the two, probably just based on cost. So let's take a look at the cost real quick while we're waiting for this thing to cook. So we have O4 Mini. I'm going to get rid of this up here. We have the reasoning models. Let's see, fine tuning our models. No. Okay, so O3 Mini. So check this. Look at this cost. $1 per 1.1 per million tokens, and then 4.4 for the million output. I mean, so then 4.4, right? Check this out. And then you go over here to GPT 4.5, $150, bro. $150 for the output versus 4.4, right? Like then you have 4.0 mini. Yeah. This is mad. Yeah. 150 divided by 4.4, 34 times, right? Before you get the same output. I mean, yeah. Is it 10x? Is this model 10x right now? I mean, remember, keep in mind all the stuff I already told you about the IDs and stuff. So yeah, that's what's up. Why this happens? Your endpoints are currently expecting parameters as functioning arguments, sends the data as a JSON. How to fix it? This looks good. Oh my gosh, this code is getting outrageous. It's so outrageous. So all right, so then I think we're good after this. If it does nail this, I swear, I just want a working app. That way I can just ship it to you guys and say, yo, cook with this. All right, so all right, server application restarted. Let's go ahead and go. I'm gonna give it the URL from Andre comparte. I swear, what is the method it's calling? Method not allowed / YouTube. Network requests sends it over to the timeline. Refresh, paste. Okay. Oops. Elements. What am I doing here? So method. Cookie sizes, timing. Preview. Yeah. Interesting. Method not allowed. Request data. So all I do is just give it this request. And so on my backend, let's see. So I go /YouTube in main.py /upload /YouTube. And I'm giving it a YouTube URL, and that was defined as a string. And so, yeah, I'm just giving it a YouTube URL JSON. It should be not the URL. I think that's probably why. Okay, so here is the request. This is what I see in the request body. It should know what to do with this. I'm so frustrated with this model right now, I swear to God. Yeah. I don't get it. Walk me through the code. Walk me through the code. See that front end. When I give it. So it should be able to inspect itself and do this thing. So I made a 50-page requirements document. Damn, bro. And you had Claude 3.7 distill a thinking shorter documents. That's so sick. Yeah. Super disappointed. FT, what's up, man? As a member, a great use case and liking seeing you hit the same type of things the rest of us do. Bro, I am like, this is why I do the live streams, because we have to see this live. And I don't know why everyone online on YouTube acts like the whole model is like, oh my God, it's a game changer. It's here. Oh my God, I made Tetris. I made Snake. It's like, bro, the models already know how to make this game. Like, I'm trying to make an app to sell to people live. Like, I'm trying to give this app to doctors and psychiatrists so they can just hit a URL, give it a file from their speech therapy session, and just cook. Like, this is a very simple app. I don't see how this could be like messed up. And like, I want to tell my brother, I want to tell like my mom saying, hey, you want to make this app, just speak your voice into here and it's going to make it for you. Like, this is what I'm going to see them just struggle with. This is just, wow. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I do this stuff. So yeah, I'm very passionate about these things. If you like this, I appreciate everyone who's been able to subscribe, and you're seeing me spend the money, not you. So I kind of save you if you're not listening. I'm just getting pissed off OpenAI. The rest of the field is quickly catching up and even surpassing them. Greed seems to be showing. You know, I get this greed frustration thing too. I feel like it's not, if you're paying a lot of money, we're basically paying a lot of money to research to find out that this isn't the way that you're supposed to use the models. So everyone's kind of iterating and learning off that. And so you in some ways get to watch me go through this process without burning your cash. So, hey, you save some money. Also, big shout outs to Windsurf, who's letting me use this beta access, which is awesome. They slid in the model into my account. So I'm like, yo, can I use it? Like, this is right here. I see it and it works. So let's cook. So we're cooking. Do you use ChatGPT Pro? I do. I use ChatGPT Pro as well. So yeah, let me see if I'm like super late. Yo, I think it's been a while. Damn, I'm so late. I'm so behind on comments right now. Yo, Ardra just became a member. Arda, thank you so much, Arda, for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. That's so super cool that you choose to support this. I really appreciate everyone kind of like chipping in and helping out here, because this is really amazing that we're able to kind of see this here, and I definitely appreciate that doing that thing. So I've already burned $4 creating a Snake app with Rue code. Yo, does this actually work though? Does this actually work? AI is my job. Yeah. That's what's up, man. After watching this, my confidence is growing that if AI is far from taking our jobs. Yeah. This is GPT 4.5 and it's supposed to be 10x greater than GPT 4. You're seeing how frustrated I am getting with this. So that's what's up. Africa is beautiful. Love from Africa. Thank you so much from Africa. Actually, let me just let's just change, like, I'm going to go back to this, but I just want to just show you Ray Fernando. I used to do photography as a living. And some of my favorite shots have been from the Africa continent. Beautiful. Madagascar. Oh, amazing. Amazing places to visit, amazing places to see. And I've been very fortunate to be able to travel to them for vacation and just see the beauty. And I realize how precious life is, and get to kind of share that with some of my skills with photography. So this is Madagascar. And if you haven't been, this is in a place called the Avenue of the Baobabs. So these baobab trees are really amazing things. They're almost equivalent to, I call them like the watermelons of the desert or like this really dry area. They're so extremely resilient as trees. Like, we don't even know about trees until like you've seen one of these things. So elephants can eat them and they get like moisture from them. And so like they've been eaten away, and like all these animals claw on them and do different things, and they just are super resilient. They just keep growing up. And it's just amazing at what's out there. And so they do look like this. They can kind of turn into these types of cool, like twisty types of things, and they just have been living forever. And then here's like these people just opened up the door and they're just kind of living, and they're just happy to be near the ocean and they can fish and they have their house. And they were just saying hello as we were walking by. It's just really beautiful people doing some amazing things. And I got to see a white lemur, which is a really rare thing to see and capture with my camera, which is really amazing. And just kids kind of hanging out, playing, having some fun. So yeah, this is something that you can kind of see. And this is actually a cross between a cat and an otter, if you can believe that. It only exists in Madagascar right now, which is really amazing. So this is kind of there. It's really scary looking too. So yeah, just a really cool place. Huge shout outs to, Africa's massive. So like as a continent. But yeah, you can kind of see some things. I do need to get my gear together and get some prints. So I'm trying to make a store. I have a store called rayfernando.supply that I'm trying to, this is actually not live right now. It's sort of live, but it's actually fake. It's a fake store that I made using your next store. And then I want to, like, for my members who just joined, I'm going to do something special for y'all. So you're actually getting a sneak peek if you just become a member. I'm making a little sticker pack. It's called Let Me Cook. And so those who have become members, I'm going to send you a sticker pack. And then after like you've been a member for like 6 months, I'm going to like change the sticker color. And then the gold member would be like the 1 year mark. So you'll get like a gold sticker flame that says Let Me Cook. So yeah, more of that. I'll announce that a little bit later. Because you're on the stream watching right now, you're going to get that inside baseball. So definitely appreciate those folks who just become members and who are supporting me right now who are doing that. So have you been to South Africa? I have not been to South Africa. I've been to Mozambique. I've been to Uganda. I've been to many different places. Mozambique, Uganda, Tanzania. Let's see, where else have I been? I need to go to South Africa though. I hear it's pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be chill. A lot of people doing stuff out there. They're cooking. So let's go back to our app. Let's see what's going on. Can we fix the things? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the $1 million question. I've just burned, if you're just tuning in, I've just burned like $1,000 in GPT 4.5 credits. Huge shout outs to the Windsurf team who've been letting me cook with the API. Like they're literally hosting the API. It's currently sliding into people in waves. So these are just small waves of people who are getting the beta access right now to GPT 4.5. It's probably the priciest model to date that's ever existed right now. When we're talking pricing, we're talking about like really expensive stuff. $75 per million tokens. So it feels like they should be washing my feet right now, rubbing my back, giving me this output. So my goal is to see if I could transform this. And like, to be honest, I'm like low key getting very frustrated at the model right now because we've been going through this iteration of code and I feel like it should be very straightforward. And there could be some other tunables that need to happen on the IDE side as well to adopt this model into this workflow, because all of these models have just dropped this week from Claude Sonnet 3.7 to GPT 4.5. And so I should be able to code this type of app and get it done super fast. So we're fixing a bug and we're basically making just sub to this cool guy. Hey man, appreciate it, man. Give a thumbs up for sure. We're trying to make a transcriber app because I already have an app that does this called Ray Transcribes. And I host this and it's extremely ridiculously fast. And 11 Labs has one, but this takes a very long time to process. In the process times it takes to upload one and process, it takes a long time. And I thought it'd be so cool on the stream if we could make an open source one where we can just give it a YouTube video or just give it a file. We should be able to kind of transcribe everything using the new 11 Labs Scribe API, or you can put in whatever other API you want. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And it's like totally just bombing it, like just not really getting there. It's got the front end UI, it's got some of the back end, and it's just really getting hung up. There are some bugs that I've encountered, and it could just be specific to the documentation that it's trying to parse, because there's a web feature that Windsurf allows you to basically go grab the documentation and get that stuff out. So that's kind of what it's doing right there. And so, yes, at the beginning when we were doing the plan, we were using Flask, and then we said, wait, can I just do Fast API instead? And so we converted to Fast API because of the asynchronous nature of what it should be able to do there. So yeah, it says you can use root code with subtask to create it. Yeah, we'll have to check that out in a different stream. Like right now, I mostly code with Cursor and Windsurf, just kind of going back and forth between those. Whoever gives me the latest model is kind of what I play around with, and I just give you a raw first look. I chose this app because I feel like this is a small context. I don't have to go into an existing app and have a bunch of other bugs and caveats. I want to just kind of give it to you raw if you're building from scratch. Just so that we really have a sense of how good is this model. Like I should be able to have it debug and write these apps and do these things. Is it worth the extra money to pay for it? Right now, I'm not really feeling that. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. So Technical Goose says, make an AI cold calling agent using 11 Labs. Yeah, I think that's going to be on deck for sure. I want to do one like that because, okay, so this is a really dope, there's a really good one called a deal maker. And so this one, like if you want to like, this guy demoed it at the 11 Labs worldwide thing last weekend. And this girl, they won the whole competition in San Francisco by making an app that would call 10 service providers. It would go on Google, search the carpet cleaners in San Francisco, call all of them using the 11 Labs API. And the guy actually sounds like an Indian guy with an accent and kind of stutters when he speaks. And it sounds really real. And so they're asking the owners of the businesses like what their quotes are for pricing. And it's really brilliant because it showcases like if you make your app sound too clean or too perfect, people will think it's AI. So their genius was saying like give the model these imperfectionists and like the voice model sounds like a real person who's struggling to speak English, but you're really just trying to get a small piece of information. So they're able to grab all that information, have it set up in a list, and basically show you it like in a beautiful UI. So yeah, I think I was able to clone the app, and I might be able to do that like in a later stream because I think that would be really cool to go over, just to show you how powerful that is. Yeah, start a chat, give a small outline. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do here, unfortunately. So what's the price for the Scribe API? So price for Scribe API 11 Labs. Let's take a look, David, because I know. Oh, it's 40 cents per hour for the input. So right now it's basically a 50% discount for the next 6 weeks. So yeah, it's basically going to be 80 cents when it's all said and done. So it's going to be fairly pricey there. So that's what's up. Do you know if you can actually change the console font to display the icons correctly? I believe so. You mean in the console? Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. How do you convert the video to text? Do you use any API? So one of the ways that you can convert video to text is to basically use FFmpeg to convert it to audio and then send that over to a transcribing service to then convert that over to text. So a lot of these are able to do that basically for you. Do you know about DeepGram and Nova 2? If so, what do you think about it? I haven't really used them that much, and I would love to know more about them. So I've been kind of playing around with the Whisper API, and then the latest one I'm going to play around here is with Scribe. So does YOLO mode enhance the model's coding capability? So in Cursor, it just kind of iterates without you having to, like right now, I'm having to stop and kind of give updates. It does cost you more money because it goes through more of your credits. So people have been burning through that stuff pretty fast. So your sound quality is amazing. Thanks, man. I'm basically rocking right now with this this setup right here. I'll show you real quick on the side. So I have basically my soundboard, and I have a Shure microphone. And, for those who are wondering, this is kind of my setup here. I just started this today where I have the screen set up of whatever I'm looking at. And so that way, when I look at you in the camera, like right here, I'm actually looking at the camera and I see whatever is being output. And if I'm looking at basically, my actual coding screen, I can still look at this camera and see exactly the way it's laid out. So it's kind of fun to kind of experiment with that. And so, yeah, I basically have transformed my entire room into a studio. And so to the left of me actually is, let me see if I can turn this camera around. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So to the left of me, basically what I have is my room. And I actually said, I'm going to double down on my whole media thing. So my whole bed is actually in that whole thing. So I pull it down and it's basically my bed's in there. So it's like, I'm going to really take this whole media thing super seriously, and my whole room is going to turn into a studio. And that's what I got rocking here. And then behind me, I got this stuff back here with my Vision Pro for the vibes and everything like that. So yeah, that's kind of the way I'm rolling right now. And so that's kind of, yeah, I feel like, dude, AI moves so fast and it's so hard to keep up with everything. And that's one part. The second part is I feel like there's just too much fluff on YouTube, and we have to like play with these models live. As soon as they come out, like see what their capabilities are and just kind of get right to the point of like, what's the real vibe of it, right? I don't care about your evals. I want to actually produce economic value. What's getting in the way of that? And like, what do I need to learn? And so by me putting this out there, I hope to attract people like you who want to join in this conversation and also contribute back to this type of thing so that we can learn together, right? Your perspective is really important because these models, not even the people who make the models themselves can tell you exactly what's going to come out at the other end. That's why they're all scared of safety and doing all these types of checks, because this is such a grand new thing and has a lot of capability. You have to actually go in and start playing with it. So it's super important that just like the way I'm playing with it, you have to take your capabilities and play with it too. And so you may discover different prompting techniques, like people were mentioning, creating a new chat, doing different context window links. These are things that we have learned over time playing with these models. So if you're new with this, don't get discouraged. Everyone is just at the same point that you are or were not too long ago, figuring this out. And if you're watching this video maybe 6 months from now, don't be discouraged. Like nothing much has changed for the last 6 months in terms of we're still having to prompt. We're still having to understand the limitations. We're still having to chain these things together. And is it going to take your job? No, but it can help leverage your skills to be that much of a better engineer. So that's kind of where, my little story there is kind of with that. So that's what's up. I just kind of wanted to give you the heads up. So you don't really feel, this is kind of how we're rolling right now. So yeah, that's what's up. Okay. So this app doesn't really work, huh? Like how far did we get? We got this far. Our app's still not allowing us to do the things. Might as well just go back into my app and see if I could just add it as one line and just kind of cook. So what's the little screen unit behind you? Oh, so this is called a tidbit. So that one's really cool. So TID BYT. This is really cool. So let me kind of get my head out of the way so you can see this. And so in here, basically, is this guy. And you can program it with these different little apps. So I have one that watches a GitHub repo. I can see how many stars I get from my GitHub repo. You can do weather, and it just kind of keeps flowing down. So I actually got inspired from seeing this on one of the mats. There are a couple of mats, like Matt Berman, and there's other ones called Matt Wolf. I think Matt Wolf had it in his background, and other people started using it. And I was like, that's so cool. I want this live update type of thing. So yeah, it basically pairs with your phone, but then it just connects to the internet, and then you just has these different apps for stuff. You can have partnerships and solutions. And so I find it really cool and easy to set up. So I definitely would check that out and do those types of things. So if you check that out, so definitely appreciate that. I had this app with cursor. Can you rate Stefan? Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that off stream because I don't want to blow up my stream right now. Why you looks like Sam Altman? Okay, this is I can't tell you how many people have told me you're the fifth person who's told me that I look like Sam Altman. So chat, do I really look like this Sam Altman guy? I guess so. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I don't think I look like him, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, right? Sam Altman. Let's see. If I do that face, do I kind of? I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, he could be my brother, right? I mean, what do you think? I'm gonna take off the headphones. I don't know. Oh, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the features of the nose. Dang. I guess so. I don't know. Yeah. My wallet better be looking like Sam Altman. Y'all feel me? Bro's everything but the video title. Yeah. My bad. I know. Y'all just come in. Okay, so let's see. We've been cooking for 2 hours, and it's been super frustrating. I've been kind of venting a little bit, so I'll get back into the sauce right now. So yes. Dang, I do look like Sam Altman. Okay. You know what? I had an opportunity to get a picture with Sam Altman, and I didn't find out till I was already leaving San Francisco. I was like, come on, man. That would have been so epic. That would have been so cool. All right, so let's get back into the mix. So is the model better? I don't know. Like, to me, like I'm cooked right now. We've been trying to debug this app, and I don't know enough JavaScript to save my life. And if I had to figure it out, it'd probably take me a long ass time. So I'm gonna start a new chat window and say like, I'm trying to debug an issue where I give it a URL on the front end, and it is coming back with a method not allowed. I need to add debug logging to understand if this is a method issue or if it is a bug on the front end or back end. Yeah, I'm using the 11 Labs API at web. And so let's just go ahead and see if it can actually talk to the web and figure out this thing. Because I've been having issues with it reaching out to the web. And for whatever reason, it keeps failing to do that. So we'll see. Like, so what's the summary of the vibes with the GPT-4.5 Windsurf? Okay, that's a really good question. So let's answer that right now. So vibes right now, solely using GPT-4.5, creating an app from scratch, transcribing, giving it YouTube videos. I'm catching a big L right now, a big L. And the vibes are like, it doesn't seem to understand me like other models. And the other part of it that I'm trying to really understand is it doesn't seem to understand my code base or fix little problems. So one of the examples was when I was running my app, I prototyped it in Python. We changed it to a web app. It still had the Python prototyping code. So it was a little sloppy. It didn't clean that up. And so I had these print statements that had the actual model going to grab a file, giving it a URL and printing out via console. So as we continue to iterate, and I also asked it to do a test plan of like uploading a file and using a URL, it still kept those files around. And I said, please do a code review and try to fix any, bugs and stuff. So it tried to go through the entire code base, or I don't know if it did or not, to be honest. And it totally just didn't pick up that those should be removed, from its context. I had to like explicitly tell it. So I said, hey, what is this URL thing? And it should have known that I was like trying to ask this question, and it didn't do that. Where other models, I feel like easily pick that up, especially Claude Sonnet. The other problem I had is like the print statement was still there. So while it removed the URL thing, it didn't remove the print statement. So like 4.5 vibes, man, like, yeah, I don't know right now if it's the IDE or I don't know if it's 4.5. To me, it feels like it's 4.5 because Claude Sonnet and every other IDE, like it just seems to rip. Claude Sonnet is biased too because of how long the model has been in existence. So the model has been together in the IDE for a long time. So a lot of these people are really good at doing tool calling and things. So we're still trying to learn how this kind of all like blends together and stuff like that. So, yeah. So how's the model? Yeah, that's my vibe. So do we know if O3 full is in the model? So yeah, they do have O3 in here. It's the medium reasoning one. So this is currently in beta. This is also 1x credit. So if I pay for the pro version of Cursor, do I get unlimited requests to the latest version of Claude? Unlimited requests, I think you get 500 fast requests, and then you would then pay per use after that. So they have a pay per use model that you would pay. I think it's like 4 cents per every request for Claude. Yeah. I've seen this with O3 Mini, and O3 kind of has a similar bug where like somehow something with the OpenAI products, they just kind of get you there and then they just like, we're going to stop doing work. It's like, bro, they're like, pay up some more. I was like, nah, I'm good, fam. Like, I'm good. Okay. So yeah, Cascade keeps hitting this web error that I'm seeing. So it gets the documentation, but then it fails. So verify that your key is set correctly and authorized for the endpoint. So how do I verify that? It's my .env files there. Yeah. So load.env 11 labs API key. Yeah, there goes the key. Y'all got exposed. The key is gone. So I've given away my key. I'm going to go ahead and burn it right now. So I exposed my key in the live, even though I have this cool blur pixelation stuff. So I didn't realize that if you hover over it, it does expose the key. FYI, note to self, like don't don't hover over the thing. So people are right now going to go like use my key to go do some nasty things. You guys are nasty. Okay. I'm going to kill my demo app. Yes, delete. All of the keys are gone now. Dang. Okay. So I have no more keys. All my API keys have been deleted. So yeah, so if you're in here and you like hover over a key, basically, I didn't know this, but it shows the key. But I was able to prove that the key is actually getting passed in here and it's doing its thing. And it's trying to make this request here with the header files. And the header files are this X API key, which is kind of what it shows there. And in the documentation itself, where should we see this? X API key. So 11 labs API key model ID. So I don't think I need the header file, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, that looks right. Speech to text model ID, client speech to text, client. Am I even calling the client? Come on. Am I really? Hold on. Oh man, this is so crazy. So I have this here. Interesting. So where am I calling the client? So in /YouTube, I don't think I'm even calling the client to use the API key. Transcribe audio. So open. Wow. Okay. I don't think I'm calling client, right? From 11. Let's just see if it understands. Oh, okay. Since you specifically transcribe audio, sends the audio files to the endpoint using a direct post. To debug, you're not allowed. Make sure the endpoint URL. But this is the documentation. Speech to text, create transcript. So because there's another thing, it's like because the docs are failing right now with Windsurf, like it's not even able to get this. Here's documentation. That's kind of my big problem right there. So that's what's up. David Adams, $2 for the super chat. Appreciate it, man. Super appreciate it. This is gonna get me like a couple of tokens for a request for the OpenAI, and I definitely appreciate it. Actually, what's happening is anyone who actually participates and has been able to join the subscription, super chats, all this stuff actually rolls into helping me hire editors. So the editors are actually going through my live streams, and they're going to be like they're parsing out various things. So for my live streams, I have like someone now going through and. They try to make a like little story of everything. So if there are topics that you want to see, please let me know, and I'd love to cover them. This live stream stuff is kind of my first looks at these types of systems, but I want to actually do more content for you. So let me know things you're having trouble with. I know people had also talked about wanting to take a look at MCP servers. So that could be a thing. If you're into them, if there are any ones that you wanted me to take a look at, we can learn about configuring them and how to use the little JSON file here to configure them so that we can start running for us. I don't really use them personally, but I know some people have a lot of interest in using them. So would love to chat more if that's something that you're interested in. And so Windsurf searches for you on the web. You just need to provide the link. So yeah, so I did give it the search earlier. And so what happens is it does find the actual files, but it has actual problem trying to parse the actual documentation. So this is the problem. So it knows that this stuff exists, but it can't grab the documents from that documentation and then give them back into the context. So that's why we keep running into this loop here. And so I just paste it in the documentation by hand, and usually it does a better job at this. But even then, it's kind of broken. You can kind of see it's not really formatted correctly and everything. And so it says your current implementation matches the documentation. So I'm currently using, given the 405, your front end might be calling your back end. Yeah. So check your front end JavaScript, modify your routes, and like, please review. Yes, please. Yes, please review at script.js. Cool. Yeah, and so Windsurf also should automatically grab the different files as well. So it's, grabbing the front end things. And so, yeah. Cursor also got 4.5. Okay, cool. But I think it's pay per use for now. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, pay per use. I don't know what the pay per use cost is. I'd be curious to know. Let's see. Cursor 4.5 pay per use. Are they going to fleece you as well, just like OpenAI? I like that Windsurf provides access and to say it's just a 1 credit or 1.25. So you kind of know what you're getting into. So yeah. Let's see, pay. I don't think I see pay per use. Interesting. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, that's kind of what I see there. I exposed my API to many AIs. How dangerous is that? I burned them afterwards. Yeah, Chinese are. I don't know. Yeah, as long as you change or rotate your keys, you're pretty much good. That can happen and so forth. So I just revoked my key, but I just wanted to make sure that before I revoked my key, I still had the problem here. So let's see. So your front end is correctly using the post request, and given the front end implementation seems correct, the 4 or 5 likely originates from another source, like a misconfiguration on the back end, which is kind of what I was thinking. Check your back end. Bro, I don't know if the model is trying to troll me right now or what's happening. So what happened to the YouTube wiki? Yo, that's still here, bro. I still got this. And for those who don't know, I have this Wikitalk front end. So I thought I would just be really clever and just start from scratch, creating an app, Alex. As far as trying to test the 4.5 model. That way I don't have any preconceived context, and that we would just kind of do everything really fresh. But for those who were in the previous live stream, I thought there's this app called wikitalk.vercel.app. So Wikitalk allows you to browse Wikipedia simply by flicking. So instead of using TikTok, you can just use this for learning. And if you like a specific topic, once you're flicking, all you have to do is click the topic and you can learn more, and it punches you to the Wikipedia page. Super genius, right? And so my thought was well, if I want to do learning, why can't I make this for YouTube videos? So with YouTube videos, that Andre Kaparthi just dropped an hour ago, there's 3 hours long, and I just want to learn about certain things. I want something to go through the entire transcript and organize the video by different topics so that I can flick through them in this Wikipedia style, TikTok style type of algo. So instead of relying on TikTok to feed me entertainment videos and people dancing and doing whoever knows what type of farting in the streets or something like that, why don't I just, I want to double down on my learning with AI and just have different videos from different people show up. And then I want to rank them as well and have the algorithm tuned to me. So that idea was born on the live stream. And we basically took that code, could talk for dash front end, and forked it and made it for YouTube videos. So you see it goes right exactly to that minute mark of where this topic starts. And it goes into this one, and it goes into this one. And so right now, this was just a prototype we built. And so the next part of it was trying to go to get the transcripts from YouTube itself. So there's one called supadata.ai that we discovered in the live stream. And so this one gives us 100 free requests to go get the actual API. So all we have to do is just make this one API call with a key, and then we get the whole transcript. We don't have to do any fancy backend stuff. It's already ready to go. And then from there, I would just use a language model, a reasoning model with maybe the new Claude Sonnet, and then have it organize the timestamps. So with the playground or the platform.openai, in that live stream is kind of where we set up the playground, and we actually use this new system message thing. So this system message allowed me to generate a specific topics or something, And what it does is gives you like markdown text that's specific for language models, which is, so you take a simple prompt, but then you can actually convert it to something better. So that was the Wikitalk thing, and I'm still going to be building that out. I'm going to try it with using Convex as a database, which would be really cool. So that way I can keep track of likes and have some social sharing and do some really cool stuff like in real time. So that's what's up. That's kind of that's the pretty much the latest update on what's going on there. So on Cursor, you need to sign in a premium user to get access to the pay per use option. Okay, that's what's up. Since I didn't watch the line from the beginning, do you think it'd be better to pay for Cursor or Windsurf? Maybe you've already answered, but I don't know English very well. That's a really good question. So right now, it's a mixed bag. I would say take advantage of the free trial for both of them. And the reason why I say this is for a couple of reasons, and everyone is at a different place right now. So I did a quick I did a quick question on Twitter, and I said, if you use Cursor and you like it, are you a developer for over more than 5 years, or did you code with AI? Or did you code before AI happened? And most of the people who liked Cursor all coded before this AI stuff. So people are very familiar with code, architecture, planning, or just some type of coding in general before using an IDE. So these people painstakingly spent a lot of time like coding by hand, like launching stuff, debugging, spending hours fixing problems. And so I saw a general trend. I was like, these people who like Cursor tend to have more experience before coding with AI. And then the people who started coding with AI recently tend to have preferred Windsurf more. And a lot of people cited a lot of things saying that they like the user interface of Windsurf because the Windsurf interface was actually more, presentable or approachable to them. And so with that in mind, if you're in one of those two camps and you're just kind of getting into coding because you've seen people make apps like me just talk about it, or Riley who just speaks things into existence, people have enjoyed using Windsurf is specifically like the latest Wave 3, which is supposed to search through documentation and all these types of things, to do this type of code editing. As far as models, I would recommend you use the latest Claude Sonnet, to be honest. Claude Sonnet, like thinking, is going to allow you to do some planning there. But Claude Sonnet 3.7 or Claude Sonnet 3.5, you can't go wrong with either of those. To get started, I would probably do that model. Today's live stream was mostly focused on GPT 4.5 as a first look, trying to see where everything that's going to happen around the edges. So if you do use this model, just, it could be, you can give it a try later on in the future. I'm not saying that don't use it or anything like that. I'm saying that right now, as it is with this software, for what we have right now, you've been seeing kind of the struggles I've been going through. Like it generates the stuff and then we run into a problem. It overlooks quite a bit of details that I was expecting it to pick up, these little comments and errors and things that I would expect to just kind of go away for such a small code base. I purposely started with a small code base or starting from scratch just to not fill up that context window to get a better sense of like, what's the level of detail that's going to happen. So I would say, I think each of the apps have a free trial. Take advantage of the two and see which one you like better as far as an ID. So that's a kind of long answer because a lot of people also ask that same question. And so that's kind of how I would take a look at that as well. I saw an app ad that was something similar for microlearning. Yeah. I feel like if we control the algorithm, we can make this. If I make this open source, we control what we learn. And we kind of need this in our new type of system today. So I agree on your take, Cursor versus Windsurf. Have you tried Tray? The interface is even more user-friendly for beginners. No, I have not tried Tray. And we'll have to look some of that up in the future there. So, okay, so this is kind of where we're at right now. 2 hours, 38 minutes. We got 1,510 people. Holy smokes. 116 people joining live from YouTube. Thank you so much. Give a like, share with your friends. And if you're totally digging this type of thing, this is kind of what I do. I like to give a raw first take on when a model comes out. I just so happen to get access to this via Windsurf. So big shout outs to the Windsurf team who, somehow got me beta access and stuff and like kind of snuck that in there. I was just like force refreshing everywhere as fast as possible after the stream. And I got the Windsurf access. I was like, let's go. Cool. We got to do this. We have to cook on this model. And so this is kind of what we're seeing, and just kind of came up with this idea. My goal is to, make an app that can transcribe stuff. and so that I can give it to you as an open source app. So I definitely want to give this a second try. Low key, I might just, redo it again and just use Klotz on it, maybe one shot it. I might do that right now. I got to go bathroom, and I might play you a real quick video, and I want to just see if we can one shot it using like Klotz on it 3.7, because I'm just kind of done. But like, I know the name of this video is going to be GPT 4.5, and I feel like if you made it this far, this is kind of like a bonus section, if you know what I mean. So this is just raw, off the cuff. I'm not sponsored, by the way. That's another thing. None of this stuff is sponsored by anyone. I'm not sponsored by Windsurf. I'm not sponsored by Cursor. I'm not sponsored by any of the people I talk with. I'm not sponsored by OpenAI. This is just me. I used to be an engineer at Apple for 12 years. Now I'm just using AI to do research, and I'm trying to understand, what apps and types of experiences can I make to make this world a better place. So as I run into problems and challenges in my life, I'm making apps, and I'm trying to share back with you my experience with building here with this software. So in a lot of sense, you're getting to see me burn through a lot of my money as I learn and share back with you. But I do this because I want to encourage more people like us and you to go build with software. It doesn't matter whether you're a senior level engineer, whether you're someone getting started. The AI movement is here, and the people who make these systems don't really know exactly how the outputs are going to be. They just know if something massive is going to come out. They just know that there is huge economic impact. And so we have to get in on the ground floor starting today. And if you're just starting today, you don't feel like you're far behind. A lot of these things move really fast. So by publicly speaking about this and using it live, we can learn from each other, and you have a different perspective than I do. And then you can teach me something and I could teach you something back. And so I really encourage everyone to, share what you know, post videos, even if you think only a few people that watch it. You'll be surprised how many people are looking for these topics, and they're looking for people like you as well to participate in this. So if YouTube's allowed sub accounts where I could switch between topics and algos, that would be so powerful. I agree. What's your approach to generating clean code? Right now it's use coding by hand. Generate code by hand in your head. To be honest, that's a skill that you should probably work on. There are a couple books as you get familiar with just coding patterns and things, but I would just say, just start with Python. It's a very simple example. If you don't know a problem, have AI generated and try to have it walk through or debug things. Before using VS Code and these different app editors, I was using JetBrains products. They are really good at allowing me to inspect and go debugging into the system later, but that came with much later use of knowledge. At the very beginnings, all you have to do is just open up any IDE. In fact, probably Replit is probably a really good place to start because it has all the environment stuff figured out. You're just going to a website, you're putting in the code, you hit run, and it just runs it for you. So that's a good place to start if you're doing Replit. They have an AI assistant thing, but that can kind of get you started off the ground pretty fast. And you can start experimenting and making code and stuff. So that's what's up. Do you have any interactions with Steve Jobs at Apple? I do. And they're crazy. There's also one like with the family. I can't really say a lot of stuff, but yeah, I don't want to say. I don't want to put myself out there like that. So you used to be a software engineer at Apple. Yes. Yeah. Replit CEO is hard MAGA. Hell no. Yeah, I haven't really followed his politics. I have a lot of politics stuff on mute. I didn't realize that was the case, but to be honest, I'm kind of torn because I try not to get political, and I right now have been so focused on the technology that I've sort of been like purposely tuning out a lot of politics, and it's probably gonna bite me later on in the future, because if there is some type of movement or something that I'm not really aware of because I've been so tuned out, I think that's kind of dumb on my part. This is just me speaking out loud. But I need to get better at tuning in to seeing what's happened. But one of the things that's really hard, especially mentally, is like once some politics stuff starts happening, it's easy for your mind to get filled with this stuff. So I've gone through a lot of mental exercises to try to like weed out things. So every day, I don't know if you realize this, but when you wake up, 80% of all your thoughts are the same as the previous day. So everything you've thought about that you think is like new, it's basically usually from yesterday or the day before. And so what happens is that after a couple of days, when someone says something, like right now, the word unhinged is in my mind. I never said that before. I've just been hearing it a lot on social media. So I'm repeating it, and now I'm repeating it back to other people, and now it becomes my word. And so that's not a word that I believe in, not a word I even think about. It's not even in my context, but because I see it around and I like the reaction, I repeat it back. And so that's kind of why I spend a lot of times not tuning into politics and different things, because those things and ideas get stuck to my mind. Other people around me repeat them. I repeat them back. It feels like it's what I'm thinking, and it's actually not what I think. So, yeah, that's kind of my long and short of it. I need to strike a balance, and I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm just kind of telling you how I riff live. So yeah, that's what's up. What's wrong with MAGA? I'm not really trying to get in all this politics right now. In the final year of software engineering. Oh, cool. Yeah, dude, make apps, learn how to ship apps, do stuff like this. I've talked to some friends in their software engineering courses. They don't even show them API stuff very much. So if you can learn how to make apps and figure out business stuff, I think that's going to take you very, very far. So make app to keep track of stuff that's happening proactively without having to plug into the algo fees. Yes, I want to do this, and I want to show you an app I made so you can try it out. So it's called Truth Torch. I made this before, I think right as Claude Sonnet just came out. I was like, I wish I had Claude Sonnet. So it's Truth Torch. It took me forever to make this in Next.js, but I'm actually pretty proud of it. So I'm going to log in real quick. I'm going to blur my email. So Truth Torch is really cool. I made this app because I was so tired of politics and stuff as well. And so with the politics and all that stuff that's going on, what ends up happening is, like, just like I said, it clouds your mind, and it's really hard to get thinking straight. So let me unblur it now that I've logged in. So you can take a post like for example, the Techno Optimist Manifesto. This is like a snippet of it. And so what I did was, like, I wanted to see like what all the different like logical fallacies and various things are, because the way that people speak and phrase things actually makes a big impact into your mind. So what my app does is, like, you just copy and paste the text in, and it gives you a whole analysis on the actual piece of writing. And so because of the way that humans read, you have to take stuff in, and then you process it. And just like I said, with the way that people stuff, you start to believe what they say before you even have an opinion. And so this was kind of like a first stopgap. And I want to probably turn this into a Chrome extension, and then do like an evaluation to give me a tone. But this to tell you like the tone that people speak in, and then how they're actually trying to appeal to you. So like the way that Mark Andreessen writes, he usually uses fear and hope. So in this case, he actually gives you these examples, like, we're told that technology. So like, just by the way that they write, you already know that you're going to be reading fear and hope. So by the time you're done reading it, you're going to feel fearful, right? And then like the way that he tries to justify what he says is by doing straw man arguments. So they exaggerate something or oversimplify, saying, this is going to be it. And then how they actually reason through, and like what their actual biases are, personal feelings. So the case basically kind of gives you a heads up on something, so you have an idea of what people are saying. And so that was my app, Truth Torch. Yeah, so I made this with Next.js, which is awesome. And I used Clerk for authentication, which was super easy to implement. And you could even share the chats and share them with other people, so that you can publicly see kind of what this is. So if you have an article that you paste it in here, you want to kind of share it with a friend, say, hey, this is the analysis that was run on it. Right now, it's basically free, so you could just log in and use it for free. I don't know. You can try it out. I'm paying for it, so just beware. But I feel like something like this needs to be out into the world more often. And I think we as people need to understand, what type of stuff we're getting into. And this is kind of the stuff I like to do, by the way. I just like to get ideas for apps and make them, and help humanity, and help myself and help humanity as well. Which IDE follows instructions more accurately while effectively managing usage credits? Additionally, which one is more effective, Windsurf or Cursor? Let's see. Which IDE follows accurately? So right now, a lot of people are having some trouble with Claude Sonnet 3.7 because some of the tool calls can be taking extra calls or not completing stuff very quickly. Claude Sonnet 3.5 seems to be well tuned on both platforms. So it's a matter of like what you're trying to get done and what you don't know and what you do know. So I feel like the most important tool here is kind of every so often trying to get a layout of what your app is doing. And then the second part is like, do you know if something breaks, why it's breaking? So trying to ask like specifically for that. So you're going to spend tokens and stuff trying to understand what that is in your app's context. And so, yeah, I just treat everything kind of like implementing features. It's going to cost you some money to do the things, but then next time around, maybe you've learned how the architecture works. And so a lot of times, the longer you spend in the app, the better you understand where the API calls are being made. So if there's an issue, for example, right now with YouTube videos, like right now we understand it's like somewhere between my front end and back end, like where specifically in the code it is, we're still trying to find out. And that's kind of where we can see like, I went to the website, I see the request being sent, it's being sent as a text file. So clearly it's like, is it just my API key not getting sent up with the right, configuration? And I'm trying to have the IDE use my credits to get that. So like, that's just an example of us trying to think through it. You become sharper over time, and then you can start to kind of follow the code paths over time to kind of track where the problem is. And so, yeah, I feel like they're both kind of the same right now, to be honest. There's like, it's either one or the other. It's just depending on what user interface you're using, as far as like how you want to spend your credits there. I have a theory that functional programming will have a renaissance for AI. Elixir is doing some amazing things under the radar. Are you like my alt account, or are you a friend of mine who like I've been saying this for a while to only a couple friends, like a handful of friends. I've been saying this too. So I feel like you're one of my friends, or you're like reading through my text messages, because this is exactly what I've been saying under the radar, low key, and not a lot of people really know what this means or what's actually happening there. So yeah, more on that a little bit later. I feel like functional programming could be really interesting, especially with dealing with agents, more specifically with agents, because of the way that data flows in these pipelines and how they just need to be modified or transformed as they go through the next layer of things that need to happen. So more on that a little bit later. Maybe a companion Safari Chrome extension would be cool for the truth torch. Yeah, I agree. What's your thoughts on web dev, like front end web dev, and what did you do at Apple? So web dev, I'm still trying to learn. I'm very new to web development. I'm just kind of struggling along. I've been trying to learn Next.js because, like that had a very powerful framework with a lot of different tooling and hooks and everything that you can do. I like the control that you can have with the browser at the front end. I also like that the code is the same on the back end, which is really easy to write and read. So you don't have to have like a Python back end with the front end with, Next.js or something like that. You can just kind of keep the code the same. I also like types. I'm a huge types fan, having worked on build systems. So types are really great. Catch things before the build. But yeah, structuring code and kind of being accountable and thinking through things beforehand is very important, especially in that type of world. So that's kind of been really appealing for me. As far as things that I worked on at Apple, I think the biggest thing was probably like the over-the-air update stuff with iOS going way back in the day. WatchOS stuff, dealing with, I've worked on like embedded firmware to, like device hardware things, integration, bringing up prototypes and putting, software on them and all that stuff. Worked with like, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, like transport stack things, worked all over the OS. Pretty much every feature you can think of, like I worked a lot of things on. God, what haven't I not? Health, yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So, yeah, just kind of like all around. I became so familiar with all the different systems, it just became easier for me to find problems and fix them, or figure out who I can find to fix them. Like it's kind of became a specialty. And so that's kind of where a lot of my expertise kind of ended up going. I feel like the longer time you spend, like the more valuable you get there, but it's also a very proprietary operating system that it's like only internal to them. So yeah, there are like certain things that apply, but other things that are completely new to me, like web development and stuff. So yeah, GPT 4.5, 75 per million tokens, 150 per million output tokens. I feel like I can't say that enough. that is correct, folks. That's not a typo. And Windsurf right now is where you can get that. As far as prices, they got the free plan, and then they got 50 premium auto credits. They have the Pro, which is still $10 a month. I think 500 premium model credits, and then $60 a month. And to access the model, all you have to do is basically go right into the bottom here where it says GPT 4.5, and that's currently in beta. So you may not see this right now, but it's currently rolling into people in small waves. Obviously, with the cost this high, they're probably still trying to figure out whether they should still roll it out or not. I somehow got access, so I'm cooking. That's what we cooked. And would I use GPT 4.5 daily? Probably not. Like after going through this exercise, I need to try some other apps, but I'm just really disappointed that it just didn't finish a lot of the code. It didn't really debug like I was thinking. And I do want to give it a second try within a week or two after all these apps continue to update. Because one part of it could be just the IDE itself, it not grabbing the right context and doing the right adjustment that it needs to work specifically for these models. Because Claude Sonnet, to be fair, has had almost a year almost to fit like a glove. It's like it came in like a really loose t-shirt, and now it's like a tight glove with with all these IDEs. And like this knowledge is continuing to build off of each other. So I wouldn't be surprised, like even if a month or two from now, like GPT 4.5 like performs better, just out of nowhere, because they've made all these improvements. The same with Claude Sonnet 3.7. It's still new. It's still new as a thinking model, and it's still like people are still trying to figure out the tool calling. Are they giving it too much? All that type of stuff. So I just stumbled upon your stream live. I've been thinking about Haskell will get adopted because of the high quality code examples, but Beam languages were built for our agentic frameworks. Yeah, I would be so interested to see what happens in the future with all these programming languages, and how some of them going to make a comeback. 1986, that's quite a bit of years ago. So yeah, that's what's up. I don't know. My name is Fernando. I used to be an engineer at Apple for 12 years, and this is kind of what I do. I like to play around with these AI stuff. I'm kind of new to this whole world, and I'm basically making stuff live. Tune in every week. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. As these models release and I get my hands on it, you get a live first look with me. You get to save your money as I do these things. And this is actually wouldn't be possible with people who subscribe to me for free, who join and share, who like and thumbs up. Like I said, I'm a really positive person. I like to keep the vibes pretty high here. And unlike other YouTubers, like I really focus on trying to like build a community here so that we can share back and participate with each other. I feel like we wouldn't be able to get this far if it wasn't for anyone turning on their camera to speak and share this information. I try to do this as I go. So this is as authentic, as raw as you see. This is nothing pre-planned. This is not sponsored by anyone. This is solely supported by people like you. So I appreciate everyone who's been able to donate and participate here with super chats as well. Like those are really great. The people who have been able to join the membership program, you get access to the private Discord, which I've started to create. So there's a member post in there. So it's just $6.99 for those who want to join. And so you become a member and you have a little badge and stuff. And I'm going to be sending out some stickers to the group soon. And you get special little perks and stuff like that. So with that, I don't know. I feel like if you have any things you want to share, any topics that I want me to talk about, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'm going to try to see if I can get this transcriber thing working. I might even just one-shot it in Replit or something. Using Claude Sonnet 3.7. That'd be so funny if it just one-shots it. And then open source that so that way you can get the link to try it out. Also, feel free to support if you're into transcriptions, if you're like a content creator or trying to do transcriptions like I demoed earlier. I have my app Ray Transcribes. This thing literally I think actually no one makes a transcriber as fast as what I've been able to build. So you're able to grab a video and transcribe it literally like in seconds, like as fast as possible. And we put this up against like 11 Labs, current transcriber stuff. They have to upload the stuff, do some processing on their server and do these things. And we are able to do like 5 times or 10 times the amount here. This is currently available at raytranscribes.com. And so right now it's currently an early access program. So you can lock in an early rate of $6.99 a month. And basically you get unlimited hours. And within 12 hours, usually within like when I get the Stripe notification, I just log in. I send you an email, a personal email saying, hey, welcome. And then I get you basically onboarded so you can start using the app. And so this is very cool if you're doing a lot of transcriptions. If you're a video creator, you can get the SRT files with timestamps. And I'm actually going to be trying to integrate the latest version of Scribe from 11 Labs. And so this is the Scribe one is the one that actually allows us to see the actual people who are speaking. So you just drop the video in here, and then what it does is it actually outlines all the different speakers who are in your video. And then from there, you're basically able to cook. And apparently this is actually much more accurate. If you can actually be very surprised, it's much more accurate than the Whisper models. The Whisper models are already very accurate, by the way, but this is already a step above. So that's kind of what we're rolling with there. So feel free to drop in there. That's kind of what I got going on. You can find me on X as well. So x.com/RayFernando1337, just like the handle there below. I do streams on X, and I just crossed 19,000. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I just started this account in August of 2023, and man, I had like 1,000 followers barely, like at the end of the year or something like that, and my account has really blown up. Huge shout outs to the 7 subscribers right now, who are currently supporting me there as well, because you can subscribe there. But yeah, I post a lot of stuff here on X, and so for folks who want to watch, you can kind of stay tuned. I like to kind of keep up to date with things, and this is kind of my ground of where I keep things going. And then I also have like a little newsletter you can sign up for just by going to click the little email, Ray's email type of thing. So that'll get you signed up for my newsletter. And my newsletter is something I'm trying to deliver once a week with the video. And you can just put your email in there, and we'll kind of stay in contact. That's probably the easiest way. So my subscribers, big shout outs to Mike Hood, Chris Rogers, you got Mike D up in the building, you got Dan Hernandez up in here, you got Quinn Slack, you got Robert H. Eubanks, and you got Bob, who's the founder, CEO of To Do Inc. So these people on X are currently supporting me there. And if you're currently on YouTube, you can also just go at RayFernando1337. There's a little join button there, and that's how you join the membership there for $6.99. And so for my first members, I'm going to send out some stickers. I have a Let Me Cook sticker pack with the little flame emoji. This is how we roll. It's kind of one of my key terms here. But yeah, feel free to join. This basically, currently funded and supported by people like you. It's going into editors and different little things that I want to keep going. I really appreciate everyone's ability to kind of tune in. And even people who are just not even able to afford that, that's okay. You could subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything like that. Give a thumbs up, share this with friends and people who you think may benefit. I feel like coming together, we can really do a lot together. So definitely appreciate that vibe. And so, yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff in the bank if you want to go ahead and take a look at some of the videos. I do a lot of live streaming, by the way. So most of my stuff is live streams. And I'm working better on getting the editors that I hired. They're making some shorts and some longer form videos. So in my longer form videos, they're like this latest one I dropped was the perfect prompt formula. Transcripts and so this one's actually like a 11-minute version of my I think 3-hour live stream or something like that, where I compare O1 Pro to Gemini. And this is kind of where I was telling you about how we did the timestamps for my Wikitalk front end apps. And this is exactly the prompts that I use. So I have those listed there. That's kind of what's up. So yeah, that's pretty much everything as far as all the bills and everything that needs to get paid. And yeah, feel free to tune in. I'm going to have something going on this weekend where I'm going to try to look at some more AI models. So I'm going to also take a look at the MCP servers that people are really interested in setting up with these types of AI models. And who knows what other types of things. So feel free to drop them in the comments. I appreciate the love and support. Everyone's very special to me, and let's just keep the vibes up really high. Love each other, help another fellow human being. I come in love. Let's share peace and love with the world. This AI is here, and let's build together. That's all I can really say. You know what I mean? So without further ado, I'll see you in the next stream, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace out, y'all.